know what this is. It's the issue talk. Let's go!
What up? What up? What up? What's the deal, everybody? This is the Ish That We Talk. I was gonna say something funny, but I don't even think nothing funny needs to be said. We have went through a small hiatus because the grand poobah of this show shot out to Africa and like went and did a pilgrimage. I don't know if she went and did a pilgrimage, but I'm gonna say she did. But she had a good, great teaching time, and this is why we have been gone for a couple of weeks, but we are back in full effect. I am Lily, the host of this show. I am the joint smoking, black toting, bad MO that you see. I am with the creme de la creme, the hostess with the mostest, the top shelf, understandably the undeniably super entrepreneur that she is. I always want to big her up every time that we open this show. So let me do it also again. Let me say to the greatest, the she is just met a pinnacle time of her year, well, of her life, and I love it because welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. I
So that was
the
yeah.
incomparable Lindsay.
Hello. And we're not going to talk about what club. We're not going to go there with what club I am a part of now.
It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time. Listen, you are going to love this. You're going to off camera. You're gonna be like, "Oh no, this is shit for real." Because fuck what these niggas talking about.
No, actually, no. Mm-mm.
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe in a few months, but not right now.
I know. I'm gonna give it time.
Yeah.
I just want to welcome you to this place. I want
Thank
to
you.
welcome you to this place because I can honestly welcome somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that I love to this place. It's a couple of people that I love to death that I would have took a bullet for that didn't make it to this place.
Yeah. Yeah. When you say it like that, absolutely. Absolutely. But oof. Yeah. We're gonna have fun today. We're not gonna
Yes,
go
we
down
are.
that
Yes,
road.
we are. We're gonna ride that wave, baby.
Right.
We're gonna ride that wave.
Yeah. But yes, I am back from the motherland. It I feel like whenever you go to where it all started, it is a pilgrimage, whether you go see like the bones doctor or you go over there for leisure, you know. So it it was an amazing time, and being an ADOS, you don't have a sense of home, you know. So now I have a
Facts.
sense of home, like,
Facts.
so. But in the same breath, I gained a lot of knowledge about South Africa. So yeah, like one thing that I gained, like it was a lesson as soon as we got picked up from the airport. To be honest, like our tour guide, he was like amazing. So excuse me, and he kept it 100 with us. He kept it 100 with us. But yeah, yeah, it was an amazing time. So I'm happy that I was able to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you was able to do that too. Um, Sidebar, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Jasmine were supposed to make it to this Africa trip, but we end up having a beautiful baby boy, and so we couldn't make that trip.
Yeah,
We're supposed to be there. We're gonna go. We gonna get there. We gonna start doing shit with Lindsay, so we can do like podcasts from different spots, man. So it'll be like really dope.
yeah, yeah. So that definitely is not gonna be my one and only time. So I said the next time that I go to Africa, the continent, I want to go to Nigeria because I did my ancestry years ago, and then the results came back that I am that I'm black, but part of my blackness, I'm 35% Nigerian, so that's like the biggest part. So yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'm basically Nigerian, and so I need to go to Nigeria.
I grew up with Nigerians. Shout out to my cousin Judan. These niggas is serious.
Hmm. Yeah. I've been looking up like Legos and stuff like that. I know like the um the richest black person it lives in Nigeria. And so and they got like this island that has like all the richest people in the world that live on this island. So like it's a lot of money there.
So basically, what you saying is Nigeria is the real version of Wakanda for real,
More or less, yeah.
and I believe it. And like I said, shout out to my cousin Judan. Listen, man, Nigerian dudes are very serious. They are very goal oriented, and not even Nigerian dudes, Nigerian people. These and when I say they take care of each other, they really take care of each other. I'm talking about they legit make sure everybody is not only secure, but I'm talking about dope out in these shits. Like,
Yeah.
like for real. Like, boy, like whatever y'all know about Nigerians, motherfuckers gonna be that kind. I know scammers in my neighborhood. I don't know none. I know motherfuckers that take care of their people and take care of the niggas that they call brothers.
Yeah, that's funny that that's the first thing that people think of when you think of Nigeria or Nigerians is scammers. I don't think of scammers, but I think of like the famous Nigerians like Burner Boy, Yvonne Orji, Wendy Asefo, all these Nigerians, and they're like super accomplished. And like the running theme with all of them is that like in your family they teach you to be like somebody that's like very successful, and it's mainly like a doctor or a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, excuse me, that's the goal, is to get there next. So I have to research that now. I don't know about that being next year, but excuse me, but yeah, that's the next place in Africa, I should say. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. Y'all just gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna just be eating shit that I'm cool with because I don't want to get sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I said that I said that I should do like a video just discussing my trip. Cause there's like a lot to the trip. There's a whole lot. So so yeah, I might go on ahead and do that. But yeah, I mean it was different than any other place that I've been in. I've been a few places, like one or two places. So yeah, it was totally different. But yeah, yeah, I saw a lot of things. And then like the racism that was over there is different. Um, I will say that because like it's different as far as black people, but it's not something that we haven't seen because their racism against black people was like the racism against indigenous people here. Yeah. So,
That says a lot. That says a lot.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was parallels, and then like our tour guide was explaining to us and stuff like that, and then he said it's like the native people in the states, and I was like, that's literally what I was thinking while you were talking. You know what I mean? So, and we had I think either me or my mom had said something about slavery, and he was just like, no, they didn't enslave the South Africans in South Africa because it's kind of hard to enslave somebody on their homeland. And I was like, you know what, that makes sense because they know the land, like they can just easily get away. And that's probably the reason why it wasn't too many natives that that were enslaved. You know what I mean? They know the land, so yeah. But yeah, so but yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, and it was great. So,
Ooh, I wish I was there, even in that conversation you had, because
mhm.
I always like to tell people. I don't know if this is a fun fact for everybody that's listening now, but I always like to tell people when it comes to, especially with slavery, the whole thing about like you said, it's kind of hard to enslave people in their homeland. Like, they're gonna fight their way out. But what ends up happening, just because I know my mother's people, what end up happening is those same type of people end up becoming slave traders themselves. So when you go into a history and you really look into certain things, especially on different coasts, what you will find out is it was certain Africans that were actually corralling fucking slaves.
Yeah, yeah, it was a business
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
end of
it, it was it was a big business. I like my mother loves to say that she's part Indian. She loves to say like I could get money from the government. All that she loves to say that shit.
the
And I ain't mad at it, but what I tell her all the time is it's only because you actually she's from the Morel plantation in Morel, Oklahoma. The Morel plantation was owned by Indians, but it's still a plantation. So stop
mm-hmm.
talking about that heritage like it means something, because that's the same thing I say about people who acknowledge their white great great grandparents who were plantation owners. It's like I don't acknowledge that bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's history. It's a bittersweet history, but it's all your history, you know. So, and that's the part that sucks, you know. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, I respect it because it gave me my mother.
Mhm.
And then I also respect it because it gave us our culture. Period. Like
Yeah.
the reason why we're here is because of this. So we
Right.
know that. So I understand it and I respect it to a fault.
Mhm.
To a fault. Because I'm just one of them people. I'm just a realist at the end of the day. My mother would have never had to went through that if some niggas that was in Africa didn't go ahead and make sure that this was big business.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And then I that was I mean that was shown in the Woman King, you know, that some of them were slave traders, you know.
Yeah.
It
I
just
mean,
is what it is.
the truth about the woman king is that's what she did. She agreed with the colonizers.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that I mean just that's just what it is. Like some of them were traders, some of them were captive, you know. It just they didn't really keep too good of records back then, so we don't know, we can't pinpoint who was who.
You can't, but at the same time, you can't be mad at it because it's one of those things where put yourself in a scenario of Say for instance, you, Lindsay, they tell you, they say, hey, boom, we're gonna put you here. Anybody that you putting on this list, we ain't gonna fuck with. But the rest of them niggas that look like you, we gonna fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna start writing names down, Lindsay. I mean, shit. I'm gonna start writing names down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just what it is. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, like we're like the only ones here that really have to like do the DNA test to really find out where we come from and stuff like that. That's the part. And so wow. And then we've been having this running joke with my mama since I did the ancestry. Cause she's kind of skeptical about the shit. And she's like, I need Ashley to do it too, so we can see if the results are the same. And so the running joke is, well, if the results are the same, then you got some explaining to do.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
Like,
We're gonna need to
hold
take
on.
another test.
We jumping DNAs right here. Like if Lindsay's DNA is the same thing with Ashley's DNA,
right.
then you need to have a real long conversation with both of them.
Right. We need to sit down. Right. She's like, I ain't worried about that. If you say so.
I'm just saying, like,
Right.
I better not find out y'all sister cousins. That's
right.
crazy shit.
Right. I'm just saying, if that come back different, we gonna have to take another test. But yeah. Yeah, she been saying that since I did it, and we've been joking about it since she said it. So yeah. but yeah, so yeah, but like I said, like our tour guide was giving us straight history from the jump. Like from the car ride to the airport, he was like, all right, so there's several racial groups. There is black, white, mixed, and colored. And yeah,
that's so wow.
Colored. Yeah, he said he would be considered mixed. The lowest on the totem pole is black.
Of course.
And then mixed is right before it, then colored, and then white is at the top. So Dro says TP.
What up, Drody? That's my dude.
So yeah. So and then he took us by this place that was it was like a circuit court, and he said what people would do if they thought they had a chance, they can petition to get their race changed. So
What?
yeah, so you can draw up a petition to stand in front of a panel of judges, all white, might I add, and plead your case on why your race should be changed. And these panel of judges will have to unanimously agree on you changing your race. And on top of that, he said the Chinese and the Japanese, they split them up. Yeah. So,
They're supposed to.
Huh?
They supposed to split them up.
But no, I'm talking about as far as hierarchy. They split them
up
as far as that. So they look at Japanese as a better race than the Chinese. And we was like, okay, well, we look at all of them as Asian. So what is the difference that is making Japanese better than Chinese? So he said that the difference is in their skin tone. Japanese has a more paler skin tone, and Chinese has a more yellow skin tone. Mm-hmm. So because of that, they look at Japanese as a hierarchy because they're closer to white. Yeah, I was just like, wow, they splitting hairs.
Well, it's a lot in that. Yeah, we're gonna have to deep dive into that because it's certain spots. It's like it's certain spots in Asia where they're totally discriminated against because they have quote unquote more black features than white features. It's a lot going on in the Asian culture over there like that. It's real crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Singapore, that's one thing about certain people that I know that really be going overseas and traveling. One of my military niggas, he was like, if you go to Singapore, everybody looks like 39th Street. They just know what I'm saying. They just got slanted eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that, and I never believed him. He was like, if you ever watched the movie Raid, and I was like, yeah. He said, hey, check the scene out when they fighting in the hallway. He said it's one Asian dude that looks like Usher, and I'm like, you lying? He was like, nah, I'm not bullshit. This nigga look just like Usher.
Yeah,
and he Asian as fuck.
Right.
But they filmed it in Singapore, so they put real Singapore people in there.
Yeah.
Like, and he said you gonna find a multicolored cast, and he said you gonna see a nigga that look just like Usher. In that motherfucker, and he gonna be fighting in the hallway. I said, you bullshit. But I seen it, and I was like, damn. And the nigga died in the worst way. Like, that's how much I was in tune with the Usher nigga. The Usher nigga died in the worst way.
Right. That is funny. But yeah, I believe it though. Yeah. I definitely believe it. But but yeah, it's it was definitely an experience. I do suggest anybody that can get over there, and it's not expensive. Yeah, it's not expensive. Just hit me up if you need assistance, because I am willing to assist anybody that would like to travel over there. But it's not expensive at all. So yeah. But I have to do a deep dive.
You got to do a deep dive. That has nothing to do with any of our topics today. But me and Cuz ain't talked in a while, and it's funny. We talking when we on live, but it's like we talking with each other, like we sitting in the same room. And y'all just gonna have to enjoy the shit.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Just pull up a chair. It's how it is. So by now, 97 episodes in, y'all should know by now how we do. But yeah. So what do we want to get into? Because these people have been tripping since the last time we was here.
Oh man, let's get into it all. Let's start off with you know what? Let's start off with shit that ain't gonna last long. So hold on, pause. Take that back. Let's talk about something on a person, which this situation ain't gonna last long. Not the person. I don't want to downplay the person like that. So let's get on Blueface.
Okay. Well, before we get to Blueface, let's first send our condolences to the family of Richard Roundtree. The actor Richard Roundtree passed away a few days ago. He was 81 years old. He had cancer. I didn't know he had cancer. But yeah, he had cancer. And from what I understand, it was a long battle. So we do want to send our condolences to him. If anybody doesn't recognize the name, that you would definitely recognize the face, because he was the original Shaft. And Shaft was like monumental at the time. It still is. Like, I studied it when I was in school. So definitely want to send our condolences to him.
Yes.
But
Richard Roundtree. Shout out to Richard Roundtree for not only being Shaft, but actually, making sure that Black people in exploitation Black movies were actually recognized as serious actors. Everybody want to talk about Shaft for what it is, but Shaft opened a lot of doors for a lot of Black actors to actually play serious roles, and not only serious roles, but serious roles where they were leads.
Right, and that's why we studied it in school, because Shaft was like the first major feature film that was a blaxploitation film, but it was distributed by a major distributor. Yeah. I forgot what company it was, but yeah. So, because we all know that blaxploitation up to that point was like independent films. So that was like the first one that wasn't an independent film. So yeah, so that was like a big deal, because they were not looking at us as leading people back then, and the numbers that Shaft did kind of killed all the speculation that they had about us up to that point. So yeah, and then all the sequels that came out after that. So hey, Shaft went to Africa. Yeah. So
Man, Shaft did his thing. Listen, Shaft was so amazing. I always tell people, and I'm never gonna stop saying this. If it wasn't for Shaft, we would have never had a Denzel. If it wasn't for Shaft, we would have never had a Samuel L.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Shaft, we would never have, and I'm 100% sure, because this nigga's not attractive. If it wasn't for Shaft, we would never have a Forrest fucking Whitaker.
Damn. Honestly, Forrest Whitaker looks better now than he did back then.
That's cool, because back then, and when I say this, I'm not shooting down nobody. Y'all just know how I am when I get on my rants. Back then, Forrest Whitaker looked at like, oh, how can I say this professionally? I can't. So I have to say this with every intent to be non-controversial. Forrest Whitaker used to look like the chubby gay guy that everybody's sister knew. Yeah. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying.
R.I.P. to Richard Roundtree.
There we go. Yep. I told you I don't know what else. I just have to put it in the perspective of my generation.
Yeah, so he will be missed. Yeah. So Blueface. Blueface. Okay, so it's a lot been going on with Blueface. Blueface and had a baby. Blueface and he now has a fiance. He got sentenced to probation for that shooting that happened like a year or so ago. And now he has also received a judgment against him for almost $12 million in connection to that shooting. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot. What do we want to dive into first?
I mean, we can shoot everything down. I mean, like I said, this is, for me, it ain't gonna be a long drawn, just because, I mean, listen, this man got a lot on his plate, and the last thing I need is to be dwelling on that nigga's big ass plate. What I will say is, what we're seeing right now is the flickering of a 15-minute of fame individual, and I hope your money is long enough to sustain you because dude, you got a long time to be on fucking probation. You cannot fuck up.
Yeah. And he does have to pay that, because if he don't pay it, that's a fuck up and he can go to jail.
Exactly. So I'm like, I just hope your money's long enough to make sure that this is actually sitting you down and making you humbleize yourself, because the one thing that I will say that is great about Black people is when we actually get a chance to sit down and humble ourselves, we become great people. And I hope that this makes you a great person, because right now, what people are seeing and what is befalling you, my guy, it's not becoming of a great individual.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a debate on if he had grace, but it's definitely a fall from it. Um, you know, he got a lot going on. He got a lot going on. I just hope, because there's kids involved, so that's the only thing. I just hope he get his shit together, because there are definitely kids involved. Um, and he's taking on a lot, but a lot of it is self inflicted, if not all.
Everything is self-inflicted.
Yeah. So
Hey, let's not sugarcoat nothing.
yeah.
Blueface put himself through all of this shit.
Right.
Didn't nobody bait him into it. It wasn't none of them situations where he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't none of them where they talking about the people around him influenced him. None of that shit has ever came to surface. What it is Blueface being Blueface. So that means Blueface is a natural fucking magnet to some bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. And and on top of all that, his now fiance, Jaden Alexis, she got signed to Columbia. Yeah.
For what I don't know.
That's what a lot of people are in the comments like, signed to what? Or signed for what, But
I mean, I just don't understand what Quagmire has can rap about.
no, not Quagmire, Stewie. That's Stewie.
Stewie, Quagmire, whoever the fuck cartoon character she looks like. And I'm not trying to downplay you, but I will say I just don't think that you are a lyricist, and that's the thing that I always like pounding people's head to, and they say I'm just hating on these new age rappers. I love a lot of these new fame rappers. I love a lot of them. I think a lot of them are dope, but a lot of them I understand are not here for actual hip hop. A lot of these motherfuckers are here for the image, and I don't respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely here for the image, for the clout, for the money. They're not here for the craft. Real quick, who do you like now?
Who do I like now?
Yeah.
Shit. I like Lil Baby. I like shit. I like Ice Spice. The only and I'm gonna tell everybody the truth. The reason why I like Ice Spice is because Ice Spice is giving everybody exactly what they thought she was gonna give to them. That sexy Nicki Minaj, when everybody thought Nicki Minaj was sexy. don't make sense, but a cool cliche ass rap. So I like her. Who else? Who else? You know what? That's about it. That's about it. And even when I mention them people, I realize in my head like these niggas ain't new. like, but like, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with it. Other than that, man, like I used to like the baby, but now you know what I'm saying. I'm just one of them people that actually realize like you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect to be great. So that's why I don't like I used to think the baby was cool, and now I realize like nah, he just does the same thing over and over again. Even when he says he doesn't, he really does.
He says he doesn't while he's doing it.
Cool in his era. Well, excuse me, not cool in his era, but cool in his he's cool in his lane. But the thing is, are you able to move from era to era with that? You know what I'm saying? Only person that I've actually seen able to do that was Pusha T.
Okay.
But
yeah. This doesn't speak to my life. My life is totally the opposite. I'm an angel in real life. But I like Sukihana.
You like Sukihana?
I like Sukihana. I admit it.
You know what? I can't say I like Sukihana, but I understand that like if you hear it all the time, you get caught up in it because like boy, when they came out with that one reel about the nigga sitting there making him something to drink, and then that song popped in his head and he started rapping it out loud. I've actually lived that life.
Yeah, but it's not that. Like I don't have to continually listen to it to like it. I like it. She be saying some crazy shit, like, and it's funny to me. It's funny to me, and I get she's an adult entertainer. I get the whole, that's not her real life and all that type of stuff. I don't care if it's her real life or not. That's not like it's entertainment, and that's all I look at it as is entertainment. I'm not trying to like write down her lyrics and go live them out. So,
you know what, and see that's the thing, because a lot of people say the same thing that you say, and so, and I get that, you know what I'm saying. I'm not one of them people that just gonna be like, you don't have no merit or no dog in the fight. You actually do because that's what they aim for. But as a person that actually, you know what I'm saying, did that, like, I was living off of rap lyrics. We, if y'all don't know people where we from Kansas City. So we grew up off independent record labels. And most of those independent record labels was living what they was talking about. And so as a person who wanted to be a rapper, everything that I ever rapped about was something that I knew about personally. It wasn't nothing that somebody told me. It wasn't nothing that I heard over here. It wasn't no freaky Jason shit. It was some shit that personally hit a nigga that'll make anybody else be like, damn, that happened to you for real? Like that was the shit I was drawn to. So with a person like Sukihana, I couldn't find myself drawn to that shit. One thing, all my niggas will tell you, and it's no diss to Sukihana. You live your life because I don't diss anybody in this lane. But all my niggas they'll tell you like, boy, this was the only nigga that didn't like to go to the strip club with us because he used to look us in the face. Because I had a joke with his mother, and I used to look them niggas in the face and say, I don't fuck with loose women. And like, you be like, what the fuck? Like, nigga, you fuck with all the hood rats. What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, but if you parade yourself like that, I can't fuck with you. I just could not go in that bitch. Like, I went a couple of times and I didn't like it. Like I was a nigga. Like I don't know if anybody know how strip clubs work, but how strip clubs work is, if you want to sit there where the dancers are, you either have to tip or buy a pitcher of beer. I was a nigga with 2 pitchers of beer, so y'all knew not to ever come to my fucking table.
Oh wow. You had a in the strip club.
Yes.
Yeah. That's funny. And you know, fun fact, I've never been to a strip club.
Oh, we gotta go.
No, I'm okay. Like I just look at it all as being like a tease. So why don't I be teased? Like, I'm okay.
Yeah, even saying this, and this is the honest to God truth, and like any nigga can back this up. Any nigga that I fuck with can back this up. You know, the only time that I was gonna fucking spend money at a fucking strip club is if a lesbian was there, because I don't want to say the wrong term. But if a lesbian was there, because if a lesbian was there, these motherfuckers spend goddamn money, make every nigga in this motherfucker look like a simp, and I ain't never been a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never been a simp my whole life, so I couldn't never let that shit downplay me. Every time I went to a strip club and I seen a lesbian start tricking money, oh, you had me fucked up. Like,
oh wow,
you had me totally fucked up, and I hate to say it like that because it makes me seem like it's toxic masculinity, and it's not. What it is any nigga that that is listening to this podcast right now, what'll throw you off is if you see a lesbian spend $2,000 on a person she don't even talk to and look at you like you ain't shit.
Oh wow,
you gonna be like, man, bitch, you got me fucked up. You gonna do your shit.
So what you're saying is if you are a stripper, always go to the lesbian.
Yes. 100% true. 100% true. Because they come in ready to spend money.
Okay.
I'm talking about ready to spend money. And they start looking at niggas like they ain't shit. Yeah. I'm talking about for real. They start being like, bitch ass nigga, I ain't seen you drop $1 yet. And
like, what's up? What's up, Nick?
Yeah, they change your mind because you be like, nigga, bitch, my dick is bigger than yours because you don't even have one. Like, what are you talking about?
Right. Well, ironically, the club that Blueface got shut down was a strip club. And they've been shut down for the past year, and that's where the judgment came from. Because it's the potential money. Now, me personally, if I was Blueface, I would have tried to fight it because I don't think he even tried to fight it. I think he was more focused on the criminal case, which it's understandable. But I think a good strategy going into that civil case is like, I didn't get your shit shut down. I was outside your club.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but
yeah, I'm just one of many bullshit things that happen in front of your shit.
Yeah.
It don't take one. It was several things.
Right. Like how one shooting gonna shut down the club. One shooting outside the club gonna shut down the club. Like y'all was on the verge of getting shut down anyway if that happened.
But that's the thing that's what happens when you're a star and you make that mistake. Rather than you just a nigga from 33rd and make that mistake. Ain't nobody trying to track you down for no money.
Dang, 33rd, huh?
Yeah. I just had to keep it family ties. Just had to keep it family ties. I'm just saying, they're not searching for this nigga. One, they ain't searching for this nigga because they don't want any type of problems with this nigga. Right. This nigga already done shot the fucking clip up.
Right.
They don't want no problems pulling into this nigga's neighborhood.
Okay.
Like, this is not what you think it is. But he was trying to save everybody shooting at the roof. He ain't shooting at the roof today.
Yeah, no, right. Like that's all I was trying to do. I'm trying to help Ike.
Yeah, like nigga, fuck what you talking about, nigga. I ain't shooting at the roof today. You gonna get your ass put on a obituary.
Right.
Get the fuck away from me.
Right. But yeah. And then like the dude that got shot, he was in court when Blueface got the sentence of probation, and he took a selfie. Did you see that?
I didn't see him take a selfie. I did know he was there though.
He took a selfie. Yeah, he took a selfie. But I think he only got shot in the hand. Yeah. So, but hey, that's my hand. Damn it. And what if it was my right hand? So
yeah, he straight up said, you know, he can't operate the same.
mm-hmm.
Everything is different.
Right.
But that's what every nigga to get shot, and I'm not downplaying nobody get shot, so don't play me like that, man. I know a lot of niggas that know what I'm saying that got shot, and I know a lot of niggas that lost their life that way. So I'm not saying that. But the funny shit about this is every nigga that I know that got shot minor places, they always say, I move different. Like they remind me of Paid in Full. They be like, my shit different, B.
Right.
Hey, nigga,
right.
You got shot in your foot. This nigga got shot the fuck up. It's a big difference.
A little bit. Yeah. Like that dude really was walking around here like an invalid. And you talking about your pinky toe. No, we're not the same, bro. About my equilibrium off. I can't walk a straight line no more. If you don't go get a wooden toe and get out of my face.
Cut the boot. But that's just a way, especially if it's. I would have played the same thing if a celebrity was involved in my
shit. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my neck.
Thing.
My back. Oh, my neck and my back. Like,
come on, I don't give a fuck who it is, right. Nigga. Luther Vandross could have shot. His people could have shot around me. I would have blamed Luther. I'd have said that nigga would. He came right over there and said "shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo-ee" and shot the shit out of me. I'm gonna get that money, man. You got me fucked up.
Long ago.
I'm telling you. That nigga, I'm gonna be right on stand and be like, Your Honor. That man walked up to me and said, "This world was mine." And that's all I remember. That's all I remember. I remember shit else.
Right. All I heard was
man. Shibba-dibba-dee-dwee. Bow, 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 bow. Like that's all I heard.
Right. Then I heard at the end, nigga. Right. Dro says harmonizing with a 9, right?
Man. Facts, Dro. Like that's all I would have heard. That's what you're supposed to do. And I ain't downplaying and I ain't saying you're supposed to be this way. Because, you know, if you listen to this the wrong way, you'll be like, you acting like a scammer. And this is not a scammer. This is a person that knows if you're in a situation where you or a nigga that makes maybe 35 to maybe 60 grand a year because you're average, or you're a drug dealer that you can't really account for your money, you're in a place that doesn't involve a celebrity. So if a celebrity is there and they're involved in your shooting, they owe you some fucking money.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, absolutely. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. That nigga owes you some money because he shouldn't have been there in the first place. So the first thing he needs to do, because put me an example. If I was a celebrity and I was somewhere in a function and something popped off and the people around me shot a nigga, I gotta pay this nigga. That is what I'm thinking in my head. Yeah. I need to pay this nigga because I need to get this shit completely off of my fucking back.
Right. But speaking of scammers, DJ Envy.
Ooh, that was a great segue.
Yeah. I appreciate the alley-oop. So, yeah, DJ Envy. DJ Envious is nobody's envious of him right now, but he's in a lot of negative press, and that is because his we're gonna call him his business partner, but that's not what he's calling him. But a person that he promoted by the name of Cesar Pena recently was arrested for pretty much running a Ponzi scheme. He has like 20 lawsuits against him, and this is all in the world of real estate. What they are alleging that he did was take money from people, promising them return on their investment from 20 to 45% in real estate. Excuse me, within like 5-6 months time.
Lindsay, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to say this. Put it in a perspective so people can understand. How much money did they say he allegedly stole from these people?
One person was like 120,000. Another was like, I want to say like 500,000. They're saying that DJ Envy is now claiming to be a victim. He's claiming to be a victim. His is like 500,000. There was a couple of business partners that were in the same deal that DJ Envy is saying that he lost money on, and one of them was $1 million, and another one was 500,000 as well. But yeah, so like it's several different people that are alleging various amounts. So it's like millions and millions of dollars.
Exactly. Millions of dollars.
Yeah. That this man has said that he was going to return their investment like 20 to 45%, and he hasn't done anything. So basically, he was running a Ponzi scheme. He was like taking money from Peter, trying to pay Paul, but moving money from one real estate venture to another real estate venture because this one ain't panning out. Come to find out, some of his properties are in foreclosure, and that's even if he owned them, because some of them that he was talking about he didn't even own. And these are not all.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there because you're 100% right. But at the same time, you have to remember that at one point he did what he was doing was Mr. Pena is what I'm speaking. Who I'm speaking on. What he was doing was selling the places multiple times. So he would sell a place. It was already sold, already going under to being sold to another person. What he would do is make people invest in that same property, thinking that it was going to be owed to them.
Wow. So it was worse than what I thought.
Yeah. So that's what
I didn't hear that part. I was just hearing that some of them were in foreclosure.
Some spots were in foreclosure. Yeah. Some spots were paid for or dropped a down payment to be paid for by other properties. He was getting other people to drop another down payment, knowing that everybody would not be able to own this fucking property.
Yeah. And then he was like promising people one property, but then saying, hey, this one didn't come through, I'm gonna move it over to this property. When in all actuality, he wasn't doing that at all. And then like when people would try to come after him for the money, he wasn't giving them money, but he would bring them jewelry and tell them, hey, hold on to this until I get you your money. He was doing stuff like that. So and these are not all people that are rich and famous. Some of these people were like working class citizens that were giving him their life savings. This one lady, she had got a settlement after something happened with her pregnancy, and when she delivered the baby, something happened. They didn't go into detail, but happen, but she ended up getting a settlement. She wanted to create generational wealth because that's the main thing that they say with this scheme is that you're building generational wealth. So she gave the majority of her settlement to him to invest so that she can own properties and stuff like that. They were real big on people becoming landlords so that they could create this generational wealth. And that was like the main thing that DJ Envy was promoting to people and stuff. The the property that DJ Envy is claiming that he lost money on was this school that's in New Jersey that was abandoned that they were turning into condos. And there was a couple of business partners on that school as well. One gave $500,000, one gave $1,000,000. They started looking into it after they started looking into it, and they was like, yo, what's going on? Like, it's the time frame that you gave us is up. Like, what's the status? This, that, and the third. He's not answering their calls or nothing like that, not trying to return their messages, none of that. One of them ended up driving past the property. The property, no signs of no construction even starting. So that's like kind of what blew everything up. And they did this on the strength of DJ Envy. A lot of the people did this on the strength of DJ Envy because he's a, I guess, quote unquote, trusted celebrity, and he had been promoting it real heavy. And so, yeah, he got all these lawsuits and stuff like that. So now, and then there's like 1,000,001 videos of DJ Envy and Cesar Pena talking about real estate. They were also doing seminars. So these seminars are supposed to be free to the public where they will teach you how to, start investing in real estate. Allegedly, unbeknownst to DJ Envy, Caesar was taking money from people for one-on-one sessions and stuff like that. So that's another thing. Excuse me. And from what I understand, like from people that have went to the seminars, they weren't telling you nothing that you can't Google. So it was like a big fat waste of time. So all these videos are starting to surface. They're doing all kinds of shit that it doesn't look like they're doing it properly. There was this one video that I saw on Twitter from this person that was a real estate agent. And it was like, there's no way that they are doing what they're saying that they're doing in this video without permits and zoning and all that type of stuff. Because in the video, they were talking about turning this 3-family building into, from like, it was 3 stories, 2-bedroom apartments. And it was 3 of them. They were talking about turning them in from 2 to 4 bedrooms and then adding 2 studio apartments. And all they were doing was just like making like a 3-inch foundation or adding to the foundation. It was something weird they were trying to say they were doing with the foundation in order to do this to the building. And they had like several people on the property where they were talking about doing this too in the video. And the real estate agent that shared it, they was like, there's no way that they are doing that and getting this approved. So that video. Then I saw a video today with Killer Mike and Cesar Pena. In the video, they was in Killer Mike's old hood in Atlanta, and he was promoting them, and somebody posted the video, was like, hey, Killer Mike, like, you promoting this dude, And so then Killer Mike had reposted it, and he tried to like backpedal and pussy pop out of it. And it was just like, no, you actually are promoting him. But this video in itself is promoting him. Why are you trying to say that you're not promoting him? But yeah.
Again, say what you said. Like you said, he pussy popped his way out of that.
I said he backpedaled and pussy popped.
He backpedaled and pussy popped his way out of it. Killer Mike, we talking about y'all.
Yeah. You never heard that term before? Backpedaling pussy pop.
No, I've heard that term
Oh.
before. I've never ever heard that term. To Killer Mike. That's what tickled
Yeah.
me. I'm like, this motherfucker said Killer Mike. Pussy popped his way out of this shit.
He did. He did though. Like that. I was just like, "Are you serious, dude?" Like, and literally, he was getting flamed up in the comments because everybody was like, "Dude, you think we stupid?" Like that's exactly what you're doing in this video. But yeah. Caesar got arrested a couple of days ago, and of course he bonded out. But he did a video, and he's saying that Envy did not have anything to do with what's going on with these things. So yeah.
Of course he's gonna say that.
Yeah. So your boy Seven is here. Hey, he says y'all hilarious. We don't even be trying to be half the time. That's what makes it so bad.
Half the time none of the time we try to be hilarious.
Right.
The shit is funny.
Right. We be dead ass. Right.
You know what I'm saying? The shit is legit funny. Like you can't make any of this shit up because we definitely don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So then your boy Seven's questioning, did they get his mansion? I don't think so because this video that he posted, he did a live actually, right after he came home, and it looks like he was in his house. So, yeah, I don't think they got his mansion yet.
I'll say this: the whole thing in a nutshell is none of us, not any black person, not any brown person, not any person of color. We're not gonna ignore this, and we're not gonna sweep this under the rug, and we're not gonna say that DJ Envy is a fucking victim. The only reason why I say that is because, I mean, truth be told, keeping it 100% being is they wouldn't. What we hear about these millions of dollars, yeah, that's fucked up. But what we are not paying attention to is the thousands of dollars. The people that didn't have it to give,
right,
gave, and it didn't pan out for them.
Yeah, people are taking out loans and stuff to give. Yeah.
This is the shit that I be wanting people to really understand. That is the flaw within us as people of color. We know all of us go through adversities. I don't care where you were from or how you were raised or what religious background you have or what type of region you come from. As a person of color, the thing that irritates me the most is we can know that you came up the same way we came up, and we still decide to fuck each other over.
Yeah.
That's the thing that irritates me the most.
It's sad. It's sad. Like, yeah, you can have your opinions on the situation. You can have your opinions on DJ Envy, on all that or whatnot, but at the end of the day, these people were taken advantage of, and it's sad. And a lot of people want to be like, "Oh, well, you trusted a felon," and it's just like, because Caesar is a convicted felon, and it's just like, yeah, I see where you're going with that, but in the same breath, all felons aren't diabolical people. You know what I'm saying? Because you a diabolical individual to do this to people. Yeah,
being a felon has nothing to do with a motherfucker who was a super villain.
Yeah.
Most super villains ain't fucking felons at all.
Right. Like
absolutely. That has nothing to do with that. Like, we're making excuses. That's the thing. This is one thing I found out in my job, and this is this week alone. What I found out is, you know what? People don't look for solutions. Mm-hmm. They always find excuses.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. And then so like there's all types of videos and stuff popping up. And one of them is with DJ Envy doing an interview about real estate with Mano. And he's talking about how he called three people right before he started, investing. And it was the DJ Clue, Joe Button, and somebody else Fabulous. He called those three people, and he admitted that Joe Button told him, "This sounds like a Ponzi scheme, and I don't want no parts."
Because you're going to jail.
Yeah. No.
Like, listen,
Yeah.
you were talking to niggas that you wanted them to invest millions and millions of dollars in. So, and I ain't even gonna say millions of dollars, maybe 100,000, whatever. You wanted them invest a large quantity of money, and you was telling them, yeah, all you got to do is, man, give me 100,000. I can make it $1 million in a month. All I got to do is boom, 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 and this, and blah, blah, blah. And niggas was like, fuck no.
Yeah, right. That's just like around the time when COVID hit and those people were doing those fuck, I forgot what's the name.
The PPP loans?
No, not the PPP loans, but they were doing the tree, like the blessing tree or something like that. Yeah, or they was trying to flip your money in Cash App.
Yep.
It's like all that, like people was really falling for that shit, and I'm just like, none of this shit sounds legit. I'm not doing it. I got approached to do one of those blessing trees a couple of times, and I was like, yeah, no, because this shit don't make sense. Because like the blessing tree, the way that works is that everybody put their money in a pot, and then the pot will go around. So whenever your time was up is when you'll get the pot. Giving tree, yeah. 7 says giving tree. That's what
giving tree.
Yeah. So I'm like, why don't I just put my money in my pot and bless myself all the time? Like that shit didn't make no sense to me. Like why would I keep giving y'all money until it's time to get my money back? Like I was like, that shit don't make sense. Why are y'all going along with this? Like none of this makes sense.
That's the thing I never understood about because when I was looking at this case with Pena, like it was so many people that invested money and didn't get money back, and they end up investing more money. I'm like, nigga, what type of wet pussy tongue do you got? It's like, God damn, dude. Like this nigga had the best dick sucking lips and the work, because how in the fuck? Because I was deep diving into some niggas, and I realized like some niggas invested like 75 and then wanted the 75 back. Didn't get the 75. Got a check for like 15 grand. I don't know what 15 grand would do with 75,000, but went on with that and understood it was cool and gave a nigga another 75,000.
All right, just kept giving. And
this nigga's got to have the best pussy mouth in the world. Like, God damn.
I mean, like the shit was crazy. The whole shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And now, and it's like, what? Like when I first start, like really paying attention, I had a conversation, and I was just like, I don't think he knew. I don't think Envy knew everything. But then I started seeing other videos. And Envy is a felon in itself for scheming. So I'm like, well, he got it in him.
I was
like, you can't put it past nobody nowadays. Like, like he was on some podcast with his wife and ran down the whole scheme of what he used to do in college. So I'm like, okay. Maybe he did it. Maybe he knew, but at the very least, you are liable because you put your celebrity on the line for this man, and people were investing in this man because of you. You know what I'm saying? So even if you did not do nothing illegally, immorally, you did because you put your celebrity on the line for this man. So.
My thing, the thing that baffles me is the whole thing about the niggas that he came up with wouldn't invest in it. I don't know what it is about that, but it's something about that like bothers me to the core,
Yeah.
which makes me think like this wasn't a nigga to be trusted in the first fucking place.
Right, because if everybody is passing that you trust, you know what I mean? Excuse me. And this is so funny because like I used to listen to the Breakfast Club a lot. And when he started in real estate, Angela Yee started in real estate too, but hers was different. She was rehabbing stuff in Detroit. So she was buying a lot of properties and rehabbing them and flipping them in Detroit or whatever. And I always wondered, why is it that Charlemagne ain't tried to tap into none of this? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even if he were to do what Cesar Pena was doing, that would have been easy. That wouldn't have taken him away from anything else he was doing. He would have just had to give him money and then just wait for the checks to roll in, right?
Yeah.
So I always wondered, what was it that Charlemagne saw that made him be like, I'm good? You know what I mean? So that always stuck out to me.
They've been saying that too. They've been saying like DJ Envy fucked Angela Yee over at real estate. So that's because they make Angela certain shit on YouTube and on Twitter. They've been saying Angela Yee is a victim of that shit as well. So
I mean, it's a possibility. I just remember like her going to Detroit a lot because she was buying properties and rehabbing them and stuff there. But I mean, it's a possibility because they are also in business together with Styles P. Angela Yee, DJ Envy, and Styles P on the Juice Bar together. So I'm like, I know they have business there together. So, and that's even if they still own it, because she's on the outs with them. But yeah, like I don't know. But your boy Seven says same with Jay Morrison. And then he says convicted felon playing the good guy role in real estate to set up niggas to invest where regardless of outcome he gets a big ass pot. Yeah. Then he said Susu. Yeah, that's the name of that giving tree is Susu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he said bullshit family Ponzi scheme. Yep. And then doing the straight up dummy. Yeah. Yep. All of that. All the above. All the above. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like the whole situation is crazy. We would definitely be watching this because it's so much that's coming out, and it seemed like it's coming out like day by the day. And then your boy Seven says that ain't always true. Dudes I knew didn't want to go in with me on a couple of house flips or make bread on the solo. They stayed where they were. Okay. And then he says that's why he left. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's.
I ain't gonna give that. That's just a rumor that's been being told.
Yeah, I don't know if that played a factor in why she left. I know that she was offered her own show, and that's what she's doing now. And the show is doing pretty well, but it seemed like they were cool up until she left. And then when she left, she started talking out about her experience on the show. So that's where I'm saying like she's on the outs with them. So, but yeah, I don't like the real reason. If there is another reason, I don't know. But the reason they've been giving us is because she got offered her own show. So, which I mean, sure, why not?
I mean, she definitely deserved it. She had a show before them, and then lip service was kind of big.
Kinda, it still is. Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I just wanna say
but yeah, because she came from satellite radio.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure that was the ultimate goal, to have your own stuff. And just to be 1,000, like the Breakfast Club ain't been the same without her.
Nah, it ain't.
Mm-mm. Right. So oh, and then that's another thing, because they've been having people guest on the show in her absence, and they have I don't know if it's bad timing or what, but they put out during all of this or whatnot, they put out um a listing, a job listing for the Breakfast Club. They officially put it out online, so you can apply online for a position on the Breakfast Club. And they put this out right after it was alleged that the iHeart offices got raided. Now, I say alleged because I've been hearing conflicting reports. Some people say it got raided, some people say that was a lie. So I wasn't there. I don't know if it got raided or not
Right.
firsthand. So yeah. So yeah. But that's what's going on now. And then they said that he wasn't on the show either that day or the day after. He wasn't on the show. So, and he ain't been in the studio or some shit. But like they usually, since COVID, they usually film at home
Yeah.
now and again. So that's not abnormal. And then they also said that could just be bad timing, because they are still trying to fill Angela Yee's position. So it may have been for HR purposes that they had to put out the job listing, and it's just bad timing that it happened around this time. And then it could very well be because they are not going to renew DJ Envy's contract. So, especially if he
I don't
gets
see them
rated.
doing it. Like I don't see them renewing it.
If they renew it, then some things are definitely going to change, because, like I said, Envy was co-signing Caesar heavy. He had him up to the Breakfast Club to be interviewed several times. So if they do continue to do business with Envy, some shit is going to change. They are not going to allow anything of the sort. They're going to have to do a better vetting process, or not even let them request for somebody to be interviewed or something. Like, at the end of the day, some shit gonna change if they keep him, and that's a big if. Because if that shit got rated, I don't give a fuck who you are. Your contract's not being renewed, and you might get fired. Like, but I can see them not firing him just because they don't want to buy out his contract. I can just see them letting him run to the end of the contract, unless he does get charged. If he get charged, that's something different. Your boy Seven says they keep trying to replace her with these unfunny women and gay and trans people. Now, when B. Scott was up there, I think he was probably the best one outside of Just Hilarious. But they have had a plethora of different types of people up there just to see what would stick, But they had when they had B. Scott, I think he changed the game, or she changed the game. I don't know her. I don't know B. Scott's pronouns. But yeah, I think B. Scott changed something different. But and they did something different after B. Scott was up there. But yeah, um, I think they're just trying everybody to see what sticks. Straight, gay, in between, man, woman, in between. Like, they just trying everything.
They do, but something about the man in me this has to recognize some of the bullshit that DJ Envy and Charlamagne do. Like, I get it. Like I get it, funny's funny, you know.
Mm.
And that's just I'm not downplaying anything, but some things are just over the top, like not even funny anymore.
Like the gay stuff that we be between Charlemagne and
Yeah,
Envy.
yeah,
Yeah, they probably took it one joke too far.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not even funny anymore. Like I get it. Like I don't
Mm.
mind, you saving face by bringing people in that community in there because they supposed to be assertive in there because I mean at the end of the day all of us no matter what we are humans and like all humans supposed to be involved in everything but like
Mm.
sometimes when you be when you do that it's not a joke anymore, it's almost like you making fun of people.
Yeah. Right. Because like my sexual orientation is not the butt of your joke. So I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So your boy Seven says on October 18, 2023, not 20 years ago, the United States Attorney Office announced that iHeartMedia office was raided after a business partner of DJ Envy was arrested on a federal wire fraud charge. Seven, where did you get that from? Because that's what I'm saying. Like I hear things back and forth, and I did hear from a reputable place that it was rated. I think it was like, was it the New York Times? It was some publication out of New York that said it.
Take a pic.
But I hear back and forth. But but yeah, I would be curious to know exactly where you got that from. But but yeah, it's just a crazy scenario. And like I said before, you will be a diabolical person if all this stuff is true and he really was taking these people's money and he knew their stories, because I'm sure he will sit down and have conversations with them, because you gotta gain somebody's trust to even get their money. And I'm sure that he was sitting down having conversation with them, knowing their story and whatnot. And then to me, I don't feel like he made matters no better. Him coming out and doing that live after he got released from jail. That live, he was talking about all the people that he's helped and all all these people that are turned on him, and how he's thanking only a couple of people that he's that are still sticking around. And I'm just like, you're not doing anybody no favors doing this video. Like, do you have any lawyers that are consulting you? Because this is crazy. So, but yeah, we would definitely be keeping an eye out on this, because this is one crazy situation. So yeah.
I
Do you
mean,
have any?
sorry to cut you off.
Oh, that was
Not even
good.
not to say it's a crazy situation. It's a thing of, I mean, just to keep it real with everybody that's listening to us right now. I mean, we're just watching scammers.
Yeah.
It is. It's a goddamn scam. DJ Envy is a goddamn scammer. I mean, that's just what it is. I hate to say it like that because I was listening to Lindsay, um, but and it has to be this has to be told. Like, you know, um, my main focus and the thing that I really think about is, um, it's cool to be a nigga that like finesse niggas for like millions of dollars. All right, cool. I give you that because fuck them niggas because they rich. That's how you think. All right, that's cool. I don't even want to talk about them. I want to talk about the motherfuckers that like they were investing, like Lindsay said. Um, People were investing that everything that they had into this. These people ain't rich. DJ Envy is trying to act like he a victim. DJ
Right.
Envy is rich.
Yeah, you're not a victim.
You know
And
what
it's
I'm saying?
and like when he does interviews, it sounds like he is trying to stay close to Caesar to get his money back, and then everybody else can get their money.
Yeah.
So your boy Seven said Google. So I went to Google, and it's still conflicting reports. Like, it's crazy because like Yahoo News says they got rated, then Hip Hop DX says that they weren't rated, then TMZ says they weren't rated, then the Daily Mail says they were rated, then All Hip Hop says that DJ Envy's attorney denies the raid. Like, it's so many conflicting reports. I can't. Um, your boy Seven says probably promised wifey that he'll get so much money if she ain't leave him for cheating. Probably get so much money if she didn't leave him for cheating. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. That's another thing. Like, with it in regards to his wife. So, DJ Envy like showers his wife with gifts, right? That's common knowledge. One thing that he does, I guess he does like a gift every day in December leading up to Christmas. And she posts a lot. And apparently she's taken everything down that he has gifted her from her page. I don't know if that's true because I didn't go to her page. I don't really care for his wife, so I didn't go to her page to look. But
I don't follow her, and then I'm still on the whole aspect of if you wanted to fuck Tyrese, just say that. Don't make it seem like this man was leading you on. Like, and whatever.
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, but yeah, like that that's supposed to be a thing that she's taking down all the gifts and stuff like that, which is possible. You don't want to be flaunting all these lavish gifts and stuff in people's faces when they lost their whole savings behind a business partner of your husband. So I get it. Makes sense to me. But yeah, we'll be following this story, of course, because it has a whole lot of twists and turns. We've been finding shit out like daily because, yeah, it's a lot. Excuse me. So another situation with some allegations. It's a lot of allegations this episode. So the Department of Justice is looking into the NBA for sabotage against who, you ask? Ice Cube's Big Three basketball organization. That is no threat to the NBA whatsoever. But what are your thoughts on this?
For you saying that it's no threat, I will say it is a big threat. Just because what the NBA is looking at. The NBA is looking at they're able to pay certain people enough amount of money that they pay niggas on the bench. So they don't want to start losing bench players.
There are a whole lot of people that can play ball.
A whole lot.
Have dreamed of being in the NBA.
Yeah.
Whole life. I honestly think that people would take a position right in the bench in the NBA before going overseas or being in the Big Three or anything like that. Like, I don't look at it like they're a threat to the point where they need to sabotage.
Now, they don't need to sabotage because they're not a threat that way. What I'm saying is this is what's happening. They're looking at it and they're thinking, hey, some of the bench players are actual stars. If you actually think about it, a lot of bench players go overseas and then they end up making a lot of money for themselves. But the first thing they do is they go to the NBA and they make the NBA money. The thing about the Big Three is the Big Three, could be one of those stepping stones that they don't want to even come across. Because the big three, because they're actually playing with actual NBA guys, even if they retired or semi-retired, they still are playing with these caliber of players, so they can skip the whole thing about going to the G League and all that, and just and go and do big three. And if y'all don't see me in the NBA, I can always go overseas. So it's always a way to just backpedal the shit out of them. Like, if this is just me in my mind frame, if Ice Cube played it like without them, if he knew they were sabotaging like that, I would just be like, yep, I'm getting all of the great fucking dope ass young boys that's on the bench, and I'm gonna start bringing them in, paying them the same thing, and eventually, if after 3 years, if they don't get their big contract, I'm gonna make sure they get a big contract overseas. Like, I'm gonna really compete like that, but that's just me.
Yeah. Because I saw the G League being brought up as well before, and that's what they were saying. Like, that's where the threat is, because they would rather them go to the G League instead of going to the big three, like the NBA would. So, and I get that as well, but I just don't think that they should have. I don't think they should be sabotaging it. Like, it's not that big of a threat.
Nah, you're not supposed to sabotage them.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be all fair and love and war. Like,
yeah. And I feel like the NBA is like second to none. And it's going to be second to none for a long time.
yeah, everybody's gonna feel like they can be elite enough to go to the league. Like, I don't everybody that you knew that had that played basketball growing up, they all had these great plans of going to the league.
Yeah.
And they never made it.
Right.
And that put a staple on everybody. And then that's when street ball came up, and street ball was making money. And then when the NBA seen the street ball was making money, you know what they did? They just start fucking absorbing that shit. So that's where we got the G League from. So if you know this as an individual with Ice Cube, you got to start hitting that shit from the jump, like the N1 niggas was trying to do. They was trying to get college players to go ahead and go to street ball. So, you know what I'm saying? So they can make a way about themselves. And if you wanted a super big contract, you would go overseas. This is the same thing that, you know what I'm saying? The big three can do this. And the NBA sees this. That's why they try to sabotage it. But the truth of the matter is, it's always going to be something that grows up against the NBA with that.
Yeah. And so because like Ice Cube apparently has been saying this for a while now, so now it's falling on ears to investigate. So they are investigating, and we shall see what the outcome is. I wouldn't be surprised if the DOJ comes back and says that nothing is going on, no foul play is indicated. I wouldn't be surprised.
They can say that.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a lie. So.
Right. But we have to remember, and I tell everybody, because it might not be the big three, but it's gonna happen. Remember, the ABA used to be bigger than the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Point.
So just look how everything is getting played out, and knowing like it's gonna be one enemy you can't defeat.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. But the killer part is that like the comments and stuff that I was seeing online is more about Ice Cube as a person instead of what the situation is. Cause you know he has not been a favorite lately.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I get it.
but
I get it,
I
but
would, yeah, I get it, but I would never slander Ice Cube. Absolutely, the fuck not, the fuck. But yeah, I'm not everybody, and everybody doesn't think like me.
right.
But anywho, so yeah, another allegation. Just go ahead and get all the allegations out the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this shit up. So, Trey Songz has alleged that no, he has not alleged. It's been alleged against him that because so he has another lawsuit coming because of sexual assault. He's been accused. That's the word that I wanted. He has been accused of sexually assaulting two women back in 2015. They have not criminally charged. Um, what's his name? Trey Songz. But
Not you're not gonna what's his name, Trey Songz.
I know, right? It's horrible. Um, yeah, your boy Seven says that's where the Sixers came from. They joined with the NBA. Yeah. So, but yeah, back to Trey Songz. They have not criminally charged him. They have um they have sued him for this assault that supposedly happened in 2015. So the way the assault goes, or the way the story has been told, rather, is that Trey Songz had a party where these women attended, and it was a house party. And at the house party, they were here you go. I'll just read it. Hold on. Okay. This is from the neighborhood talk. Neighbors. At this point, more than just the neighbors know Trey Songz's name, and for all the wrong reasons. According to TMZ, he is being sued by two women who claim they passed out at his house party, only to wake up to him forcing himself on them with non consensual sex. The women claim the alleged incident happened in 2015. He met the women at a concert and they were reportedly invited to his home afterwards. Upon arrival, the women said they had to give a password to get in and hand over their cell phones. The attendees of the house party were mostly women, and the alleged victims claimed they were pressured to drink. The women claim Trey ushered them from a couch to his bedroom upstairs, where they passed out with their clothes on. They say they woke up naked to him forcing himself on them. More specifically, giving one of them head despite her resisting it. The other woman claims she woke up to Trey biting her nipple and forcing his fingers into her vagina. They claim they were kicked out when they refused to shower with him afterwards. You are little fucking girls. Get the fuck out of my house. This isn't the first time Trey's been accused of this type of behavior. So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this: we should have believed Kiki Palmer a long time ago.
Mm,
Um, I love Trey Songz. I'm not gonna be that type of person that's gonna try to throw somebody under the bus or try at the same time to justify what he did. All of these are alleged charges,
yeah.
but it's plenty of alleged charges, and so I would be wrong to say some of this ain't true. So, with that being said, I can say wholeheartedly that Trey Songz is going to end up going to jail because if it is so many things coming up, even if half of these things are lies, the other half ain't.
Okay, like if you subscribe to the ideology of their when their smoke is fire, then yes. Um Now, me laughing, I'm sorry. Um I was glancing at some of these comments. So, because this one now some okay, like some of the situations uh do sound bad. This one don't sound bad. I'm sorry. This one doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound like a bad time. But no means no. If you didn't want it, you didn't want it. So I get it. That's if this is true. This is pretty far fetched because my whole thing is that why hasn't he criminally been charged? Why are y'all going straight to the lawsuit? Why don't I mean? Is there a problem with doing both? Like
Because
I don't.
I will say because he's not going to be charged if you go sexually because it's gonna be a bunch of lawyers that's gonna play up that this is Trey Songz, this is a sex symbol, and they're just looking for something.
Yeah.
So it'd never survive in criminal court. Civil court though it'll totally survive because what ends up happening is what you see now. It's a bunch of people coming out, not even pressing lawsuits, but just saying he is that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a better way for you to win.
I get civilly, yes, it's a better way for you to win, but nobody has charged him criminally. Not one time. Not one. And that's the part that I'm getting lost on, you know? Because all it takes is one conviction to send you to jail. You know, and we see what they did with what's his name? Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? So we see what they did with
But
Kelly.
when you say that, you have to think about look how long it took for them to do that to Bill Cosby.
Yeah, because they had to really run the finesse to get that. You know what I'm saying? They really ran the finesse to get Bill Cosby. But yeah, but my point is that it just takes one person one person situation to get a conviction. And not one person has come forward to charge him criminally. So, that's a lot of side eye that this is bringing up, you know. And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan. I'm just saying that just being realistic, you know.
I get it.
You have to side eye it when everybody is going for the money.
I get it. I understand
And
that.
then it's years later, and the part that sucks about that is that if you are a victim, there's nobody can tell you how to act as a victim. But it does cause a lot of question when the shit happened almost 10 years ago. And now you're coming forward, and you're only coming forward civilly. It just it's
I
a
get
lot
it.
it's a lot to question about this. It really is.
I get what
Um
you're saying because I get what you're saying 100%. At the same time, the only thing I will interject on that is some people are in certain situations where they know maybe statute of limitations is up for a criminal charge, but If I got enough backing, if I got enough people to say this is the type of dude that he is, this gonna, know what I'm saying? It's gonna stick. It's gonna put a stain on his record. It doesn't. Know what I'm saying? Some people just look for the small win, and not saying like in this situation, like I'm saying, I'm not saying these is all alleged charges. So I'm not saying Trey Songz is this type of guy. What I'm saying at the same time though is, hey man, we heard this shit from fucking Keke Palmer years ago.
But I'm still confused on what we heard from her because she said sexual intimidation. What exactly is sexual intimidation?
Wherever her interpretation is.
But I never was clear on what her interpretation was. Like I was always like I'm maybe I'm by myself, but I was always confused on that story. Cause I'm like, how does somebody sexually intimidate you into being in a music video? How do you sexually intimidate somebody? Like I'm so
You're gonna have to ask Trey Songz because I don't know.
Yeah. He probably was confused too. Like, cause I mean, like I never heard that term. And if we want to paint a picture, it was around the time when Keke Palmer was doing some weird shit. So it was, but it's like all the weird shit ended when this came out. And not to say that what she was saying was wrong, because I don't believe that what she was saying was wrong. I'm just confused on what she was saying. Because she didn't go like with as far as the sexual intimidation is concerned, she didn't really go into particulars on what he did. Because again, how do you sexually intimidate someone? And then how do you sexually intimidate someone into being in a music video?
I
The
mean, that's
world
one of those things. If we ever get Keke Palmer on the show, you're gonna have to ask her.
Yes, I'm gonna put that on the list of things to ask Kiki because I'm so confused. But you know what? Let's Google. Hey Google, define sexual uh, intimidation. How the hell you spell intimidation?
You said what?
How do you spell intimidation?
You talking to a nigga with a Southeast education? I barely know how to spell Southeast.
Okay, you spell it with an I. First off, um, okay, what does it mean? Okay, the term sexual intimidation incorporates the definition of sexual harassment and means threatening or emotionally distressing conduct based on sex, alluding but not limited to non consensual recording of sexual activity or the distribution of such recording. Okay. So your boy Seven says, "Whip it out." I don't. Mm, I don't. I don't
I
know.
feel you, Seven. Like nowadays, it's like it's like as soon as you pull it out, and as soon as you pull it out, they be like, all right, this is not what I signed up for, and then all of a sudden you got a lawsuit coming.
Yeah. Okay. So then it says, "What is an example of sexual intimidation? Spreading sexual rumors, standing close to someone, displaying images of a sexual nature, unwanted physical contact of a sexual nature. For example, brushing up against someone or hugging, kissing, or massaging them. Okay. So now that makes sense.
So yeah, she went through all that.
Okay, that makes sense. Cause yeah, what she was saying was like he was trying to like convince her into being in the music video. So I guess he was using his sex appeal to convince her to be in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be sexual intimidation.
Yep.
All right. So I have learned something new today, and now I am cut off. I am no longer needing to learn anything else for the rest of the day.
Yep. See, there you go.
I hit my quota. All right. So yeah. So that's the situation with Trey Songz now. Did you want to hear some of the comments?
I mean, we can, but I mean, for me, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just think Trey is going to end up going to jail, just like everybody else.
Yeah. Well, he got to be charged criminally first.
If he keeps this up, excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you one comment. This person says Trey Songz must have been trying to buy Tubi.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Oh, jeez. All right.
To be fair, Trey Songz definitely needs to own a part of Tubi. It is definitely his genre.
I think his movie just got on Tubi too. That Blood Brother movie.
Yeah.
I think it just got on Tubi. If not Tubi, it's on one of them streaming apps now. But I just saw that they added it. And it's a movie. But yeah. Moving on. Let's see. So, next up, Jada Pinkett Smith. So Jada Pinkett Smith has released her memoir last week, and it's called Worthy. And leading up to the release of the book, she has said several things about several instances, which we talked about on the previous episode. But with the book being out now, the book has been out for almost 2 weeks. And it is a New York Times bestseller, despite a lot of people saying that they weren't going to purchase it. But it did not live up to the hype, and on several different lists, it's not ranked as high as they thought it would be. Excuse me, are you surprised?
No.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. Because it's like, what else can you tell us? You can tell us everything. And a lot of the shit that you told us we don't care about. So then there's that, you know?
I mean, one thing I will say is, and I'm not going to take anything I've ever said about Jada Pinkett Smith back before I even go on this, because everybody knows how I feel. I've said this on plenty of our shows, and I'm going to stand to this to the end of my dying day. Even if I talk to her, I respect her as a lady, but I'm always stand on what I feel. At the same time I say this, I will say this. I am so apologetic, Miss Jada, because what I didn't understand was you ain't the only snake in the goddamn house. Hear what I'm saying before y'all say whatever y'all want to say about this. Jada is a narcissist. True enough. But Will not only is a narcissist, but he's also a very conniving manipulator And that is a villain individual. And the only reason why I say that is you think about this. The devil's only trick was proving that he did not exist. That's the only trick the devil ever pulled for real. Everything else you heard from the devil, it was the truth. It was what it was gonna be. The only thing the only trick that he ever showed people is that he didn't exist. He made people think that it wasn't real.
Okay.
Will Smith is the best devil reincarnated if you think about it. They have been they have been divorced. Basically, you can say whatever you want to say. These motherfuckers ain't been fucking with each other since 2006 fucking team.
Yeah.
He continued to play the simp role to build sympathy, knowing that I'm not even with this bitch. Like, I don't think nobody's really paying attention to that. Even when they asked him for a response, this nigga faked the TikTok sneezing, saying he was out of the fucking country. This nigga don't give a fuck about what's going on with this bitch.
He was going in Antarctica.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about what's going on with this bitch. She can do whatever. She can say whatever. And I feel like the reason why Will is doing this is because Will stuck to the goddamn script.
Yeah.
You went off course, so now you feel and understand and hear the rapture that I felt this whole time of everybody calling me a simp. Like, now you get it. Now you get you understand that, boom, and I'm cool, bitch. And the thing is, it's cheaper to keep her anyway. So yeah, you can say all this, but you still under the. I'm still not having to pay you out. I'm still taking care of what I've been taking care of. So no one's looking at that like I'm looking. I'm like, shit, fucking Will Smith is a diabolical ass nigga.
So you think all roads lead to like Jada is completely innocent?
Jada is not completely innocent, but you're not gonna keep blaming Jada. You're not gonna keep calling Will a simp because that nigga is not a simp at all.
No, I don't think he's a simp. Your boy Seven says the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. Yep.
Exactly.
Somebody said that in a song too. I forgot what song it was, but anyway, yeah, no, like, and then this is the key part about the situation is that like they've been telling us that they weren't together. You know, just didn't put a date on it until she did that interview. But they've been telling us. I just and like the stuff that was like, you know, world shattering news that people were acting like, it's like that stuff wasn't news. Like we already knew that stuff. Like everybody was tripping because she said Tupac had alopecia. If you watch the Dear Mama docuseries that FX put out several ago, you would know he had alopecia. She did not break that news.
Yeah, that wasn't breaking news.
Yeah. And they went into detail why he had alopecia, which is saying the same thing she said. Then like the only thing
furthermore it tells me, I'm sorry to cut you off, Lindsay, but furthermore it tells me this bitch ain't got alopecia. She just want to be a part of it. She just wants to be like so in tune with nigga. I got the same diagnosis, nigga.
Yeah. And see, that's the only thing that I don't agree wholeheartedly with Jada on. Whether you together or not, why are you why are you playing into this man's insecurity about your relationship with Tupac?
Because hurt
It's like
people
she
hurt
keeps,
people.
yeah, but it's like she keeps doing it, and it's like even if like she's hurt, he's not publicly hurting you.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I
this is
mean?
the thing. This is the thing. This is how you separate different individuals. Like you said, everything that she's talking about right now, they've been telling us. Only a handful of us was able to like actually understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that a lot of people what goes over a lot of people's heads was because it went over my head for a minute until this shit came out, and then I actually started realizing some shit. Will Smith has been single-handedly dropping jewels like on her, like, you know what I'm saying, like showing how much of a piss poor bitch she is, like, but we didn't know they wouldn't, they didn't fuck with each other. So you thinking like, you know, it's just one of those things where they just have this type of open relationship where they can actually like talk about each other. Like, no, like we talk about Jada's memoirs because it flopped. Like, if you really think about it, yeah, it was supposed to flop because Will already been said this shit.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like,
another thing that somebody pointed out as well. Like Will been talking to, and
yeah,
he's not
Will
getting
been said
a
this shit.
fraction of the hate. Yeah, but he's not getting a fraction of the hate that she's getting for talking.
You know why he's not getting a fraction of the hate is because he didn't publicize it. He publicized it by putting it in a book, but he didn't even talk about that book in detail like that.
Yeah,
You would have to
yeah,
know you would literally have to read the book to really understand what was going on. If you never read the book, you would have never knew about their life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree because like even like the people that I know that have read it, um, they tell me stuff that I haven't heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the same breath, he's been talking nothing that she's really said is like breaking news. Like I said before. So
No.
the fact that people are really on her head about it is, and then people I've seen this a lot because people are like, wow, now the slap really don't make sense. Well, to me, the slap makes sense still. Because at the end of the day, that's still his wife. That's still the mother of his kids. And you just disrespected her about something she's sensitive about. And furthermore, now that we know that after they officially uncoupled, Chris Rock tried to get at her. So that's all the more reason why I gotta smack the shit out of you. Now, me personally, I wouldn't have smacked the shit out of him. But you would have known not to ever fuck with her again. So, yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It is 100 men that will agree with you. It's 1,000 men that agree with you. It's 1,000,000 men that agree with you. What I will say is this. If technically we have been separated since 2016, the powers that be, you know, the niggas that know the ins and outs, they knew this. Nigga, Chris wasn't the first one to shoot a shot at your bitch.
But Chris is his friend.
That I don't give a fuck what that is, you know what I'm saying, that you even saying at that point, because everybody, I've been knowing ever since I was a kid that celebrities only fuck with celebrities. So all these bitch ass niggas is your friends, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So
I had this conversation and because I was like, well, what's the difference between August Alsina and Chris Rock? And I was like, there's a big difference between
it's
the
a
two.
big difference. One is that's your husband's associate. The another one is that's your kid's fucking friend.
Yeah. But in the same breath, however she met him, it wasn't through Will. But when he was propositioned with this entanglement, he did say like, hey, what, and she's like, hey, it's cool, you can talk to Will. And him and Will had a conversation, and Will said it was cool, we are not together, it's cool. But Chris Rock, instead of confirming, he just heard some shit. Instead of confirming, instead of having a conversation with Will, who's supposed to be his friend. Now I ain't saying they best buds or nothing like that, but they are friendly. So instead of having a conversation with him, like, hey, what's the deal? Is it open season, like, or not? Like, what? He goes and tries to holler at Jada. So yeah, that there's differences between the two.
You say that, but I'm gonna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So say somebody, quote unquote, you work with this person all the time, so they say that's your work friend. Because you have to understand with Chris Rock and Will Smith, they're basically just work friends. They're not real friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're work friends.
I give you that.
So let's say, your work friend. You watch your work friend go through a situation with a motherfucker that they fuck with that you was looking like, this nigga's fine. And then you find out that your work friend don't fuck with this nigga no more, and you see this nigga at a bar. Do you think you not gonna say nothing if he said something to you?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna be cordial and nothing like that. But as like try to holler at him, no, I'm not.
I'm not saying you're gonna try to holler at him. I'm just saying you don't think that's gonna, like, if he throws it out there, you don't think it's gonna be a conversation. That's the same thing that fucking happened to Will and Jada and Chris. She admitted as soon as she said, nah, this ain't what it is, he backed the fuck off. But he still shot his shot. That's what niggas do.
Yeah, but you don't think Will would have a problem with that?
You said what?
You don't think Will would have a problem with that?
Will don't got a problem. Hold on, Lindsay, before we even go further. Will don't have a problem with his son's friend fucking his wife. So Will shouldn't have a problem with that.
That's somebody different. I don't have a relationship with my son's friend outside of, hey, how you doing? How's life? You want to go to Barbados with us?
But my son does.
Like, yeah. Now,
but my son does. My son has a whole relationship.
The son is the one that should have the problem. The son is the one that should have the problem, not Will. No, Will's problem should be with his friend Chris, not with August.
My friend.
That's problem should be. Okay, work friend, associate, whatever you want to call Chris to Will. That's who his problem should be with, not August. Jaden's problem should be with August. How are you fucking my mom? Like, that's Stifler's mom. Like, come on. Like, that's where the problem should be. If we're talking about,
100% agree with you. It should be a problem with Jaden. Yeah. Will, on the other hand, should understand, like, okay, this is me just being on just me, on my, you know what I'm saying? Just me on my super arrogant. So I'm gonna be on my super arrogant on this.
Okay.
Me as a person, if I am Will Smith and I am the fucking the business that Will Smith is, let me find out that Jasmine is fucking Kern's friend. Man, you got what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, Even if we split up, we don't even fuck with each other. Like they wouldn't fucking with each other no more.
Yeah.
Even if we don't fuck with each other no more. Do you think I'm gonna keep? Man, I'm not about to put you in high result. This is what you did. You didn't even try to get nobody to match my energy. You got somebody to match. Nigga, you changed this nigga's diapers. You wanted to get a nigga that associates with a motherfucker that you changed their diapers? You wanna associate yourself with that type of individual? Oh man, you got me fucked up. Like
I agree.
I ain't gonna talk silly to you or none of that shit. But yeah, now I understand why Will don't give a fuck.
I agree. It was not. I mean, I like August just as much as the next person, but it was definitely not an upgrade. However, I don't see that being as big of a problem as Chris Rock. Like Chris Rock is an A-list celebrity, just like Will is an A-list celebrity. So yeah, I would see that being a problem. And we're friendly. We're friendly. So
Okay.
yeah, I was. And on top of that, you didn't even try to come to me to see if it was a rumor or if it was legit. You went straight to her to try to backdoor and dirty match and all that type of shit. You tried it. You tried it.
But you know what? I'm gonna stop you right there because he didn't dirty Mac because Jada didn't say he dirty Mac. What I'm saying, and I'm only saying this as a man because you looking at it as a woman, but I'm saying as a man, that is not gonna bother me if I don't rock with her no more, and another nigga shoots his shot and he gets her if he's on the same caliber or higher than me. I have no choice but to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and let that happen. Like it's just for me as a man, it's like, nah, if the nigga's on the same level or the nigga's above, you know what I'm saying, where I was, like, what do I look like hating on this nigga for, you know what I'm saying, getting my bitch? I'm not even gonna hate on a bum nigga for getting my bitch. I'm gonna just look at my bitch stupid. But that's, you know what I'm saying, that's just me as a man. It's like,
you can't hate on the bum. You can't hate on the bum. You can't do nothing but shake that bum's hand if he got your bitch.
Exactly. That exactly. But the same way you shake that bum's hand is the same way you shake that nigga's hand that's above you, or on your same level. You just be like, okay, boom. If he get her,
if I did not have a relationship, absolutely. Like I'm not gonna hate because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get somebody on my level or better. That's what you're supposed to do. However, this is somebody that we're cool with. Like, and damn.
Again,
all the bitches that Will fuck with was not Jada's friends.
I get that. I understand that. But you really have to, I keep saying, Lindsay, you really got to understand that most of these rich people, their circle is the same circle. They all end up fucking with each other. We see this now, and motherfuckers be looking at it like it's crazy. Like these motherfuckers just be fucking each other. Won't do. But you got to realize they're the only motherfuckers that can relate to each other. It's a bunch of people on the back end that they can fuck with, but these are the only people that can actually relate to what the fuck these niggas is living. It's a circle that they stay in.
I get that. I don't get me wrong. I do get that. I just don't agree with it being a friend. That's all. That's all. And I don't agree. I don't agree with it being a friend. And so I get the Smith part of it all. And then I don't agree. Like I guess I'm on Will's side. Like, because I don't agree with the Tupac shit. Like you were like really like laying in thick with Tupac, and you know this man had insecurities about Tupac.
We all don't agree with that shit. Yeah. None of us agree with that shit. Like we can cut the air right then and there. Like that's the thing that is always going to I will always stand on and say Jada Pinkett is a bitch. Like I will never ever not say that. Like no, just because you held a dead man over this I don't give a fuck what Will used to do. What I'm saying is what Will has done for you. You still held the dead man over him. Anytime my daughter writes a fucking letter to a dead man, I should have slapped you in your motherfucking face. Like, how dare the fuck you? Like, I'm
Yeah.
just keep.
I mean, that's
100.
just mad
Say it like that,
disrespectful.
but man, nah.
Yeah, that's just mad disrespectful. Like anything around this motherfucker we can debate about, but that shit that's going too far. It's too far.
Like, man,
That's just
I
too
just
far. And she keeps doing it. And it's like, oh my God, let that man rest in peace. I didn't even know y'all knew each other when he was alive.
I knew they knew each other, but the thing in a nutshell is this nigga is wherever he's at in the plane of existence he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time things like this come up, he just be like, why? Like, bitch, nothing ever happened with us.
Right.
Like, nothing.
Right. Like that whole poem he wrote, she didn't even know about that shit till after he was dead. And if he never died, she probably would have never found out. So it's like,
It's like,
it's exhausting.
I get why Will is not, you know what I'm saying, giving a fuck about nothing that's happening. Except for that whole Chris Rock thing. But that was just, I think that was him. More and more, especially now that Jada came out with this, I think that's just Will being the dramatic person that he is, trying to save face, also just playing a role. I remember a person said it, I can't remember who it was, but he said, man, every step Will Smith took, he said he seen every character that Will Smith ever played. So he knew how it was going to play out.
So he's a method actor is what he's saying.
Yeah. He said every step he took, he knew. He said he knew when he took this step, this was what Will was. And he knew when he took this step, this is what Will was. All the way till he went up to Chris Rock, he knew exactly where Will was and where Will's mind was as an actor when that happened. Like, he was at that whole thing, he just played a character. And that character was someone that takes care of his wife. Little did we know, this nigga don't got a fucking wife right now.
Right. Right. Like, what?
This nigga played a whole role. He played a whole role for us, and we fell for it. That's why I keep saying Will is a super fucking villain, y'all. Like, yeah, Jada's still Jada. She's a narcissist piece of shit. Like, yes, but like, Will ain't no different. Will ain't no motherfucking different, because he made y'all believe he was a victim.
Yeah.
He made, and I ain't even gonna say y'all, I'm gonna say us, because he made me believe he was a victim at first.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm looking at it, like, no, this nigga's not a victim. This nigga fucking, he's like fucking Batman. He put contingency plans into everything he's ever done in life.
Yeah. So you want to know who else is making the world think he's a victim? Funny Marco. Funny Marco is making the world think he is a victim. So, what has happened with Funny Marco? You like that segue? Boom.
Yeah, that was a good slide. Shout out to Funny Marco.
Right. Shout out to him. Right. So, what has been going on with Funny Marco is that we all know that Funny Marco has a show on YouTube where he interviews people, and he has is it unique? He has a unique way of interviewing.
Yeah, it's unique. I'm gonna stop you right there, and I'm gonna say it's unique because what Funny Marco did, Funny Marco actually changed the game, because he started a trend that white people took over, and that was the mundane interview.
Did he start it? I don't think it's originated from him, but
It
he
didn't
has made it
originate from
popular.
him, but he started it on
Yeah,
YouTube. He started it
he's
on
made it
YouTube.
popular. He's
Yes.
made it popular. Okay, so yeah. So what type of interviews these are the type of interviews where you get asked questions that the whole point is to get a reaction out of you, and it's been working for him. He says it with a straight face. It's not no joking matter, even though he's a comedian, and I use that term loosely. um he
He's a
says it.
content creator. And he's not a
Yeah, he's a
comedian. He's a content creator.
well,
He's
he
funny.
does do
His name is
comedy. He
Funny
does do
Marco.
comedy.
He's funny.
He does do comedy though. He'll be at the Improv next month, I believe.
But
So
he's
he
not a
does do
full
comedy.
comedian. Yeah, I would
He's
never.
not
I
right.
can never call him a full comedian until he actually sells out a show.
Yeah. So that's a whole debate in itself because like I said, I use the term loosely. But definitely a content creator. So but yeah, so he's interviewed quite a few people and he's been interviewed a couple of times as well. One time when he got interviewed, the girl hijacked his style and now she's interviewing A-list celebrities. But it's not about her, it's about him. So he about a week or so ago did an interview or released the footage of an interview that he did with Southside and G Herbo. Southside is a producer and he's working with a whole bunch of people, and he's also Young Miami's daughter's dad. G Herbo is a rapper. Don't ask me what song because I have no idea. I only know him from his internet antics, in that he is the reason why Ari Fletcher is a known name, and he is because he's her son's dad, and he is Fabulous stepdaughter's kid's dad. So yeah, and he also has charges that can get him a lot of years if he don't snitch. From what I understand, that he might fold, but it's not about his charges. It's not about Southside's baby mama either. This is about their interview with Funny Marco and how they pretty much pulled a you on you. Meaning that they took over Funny Marco's interview and pretty much punked him in the interview. And him looking like a straight sucker. And yeah. They put like it was just pretty much like, before you get me with your bullshit ass question, I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna make you look like a sucker, which is what they did. Now, they apparently they also broke his watch that was $30 during this interaction, but yeah, so he released the interview nonetheless because it wasn't live or anything. So he released the interview. The internet went ablaze. The majority of the people taking his side. Me, I look at things differently. And I pretty much was like, I don't really like, it's debatable on if they went too far, but I don't really see a problem with what they did because like I said, his whole style is to get a negative reaction out of people. And that doesn't just start and stop with the interview. His claim to fame was to go into Walmart and cause hell with people to where they'd be ready to fight him. And he would have to be like, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a prank. So your whole claim to fame is getting negative reactions out of people. And then he went viral a couple of times. One of the most famous times that he did this was in an Atlanta area Walmart when he came up on T.I.'s kids, King and Deja was about to get with him. So yeah, so he parlayed that into a comedy career, and now he has this show where he interviews people. But yeah, I went back and forth with a couple of people online about this because they show was like, G Herbo and Southside was wrong. And I'm like, wrong where? Because you put out this energy in the world, you're gonna get it in return. I feel no waste time about it. I don't. Yeah. And he from the town. Okay. He made the town look like some straight suckers. And that's the fucked up part about it, because my whole thing is how you allow somebody to take over your show. And that's what separates the real journalists, the real interviewers, the real reporters from the fake. How you don't turn this into comedy. That's what separates the real comedians from the fake. You know what I'm saying? Because for you to just sit there and allow this shit to happen and then put it out and then try to put like statements with it and stuff like that, like you knew what you was doing. You know what I mean? You knew what you was doing. You wanted to play the victim, and you wanted to get that sympathy role, and it worked for you because that's exactly what happened. But because I don't see it that way, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, because a real journalist would have turned that around. A real interviewer would have turned that around. A real comedian would have turned that around. And you just let that shit happen. So that's what the problem is. People don't like, they just label themselves, oh, I'm a comedian, oh, I'm an interviewer or whatever, and they don't study their craft. Like, there's no way that if Jamie Foxx still had in the foxhole and some shit like that happened on his show, there's no way that outcome would have been the same. He would have been able to turn that around. Kevin Hart the same way on none of his platforms where he be interviewing people. If something like that happened at Cold as Ice, you think that the outcome would have been the same? Absolutely not. But we're talking about the real comedians. We're talking about real interviewers that have like really studied and honed in on their craft. You know what I mean? Like, there's countless examples of things going left, but people leaning into that and making the outcome be something that is newsworthy. Like, you can pull up Diane Sawyer interviews. You can pull up you can pull up the interview Gayle King did with R. Kelly. You know,
Robert.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it annoys me. It goes back to a gripe and a soapbox that people get on, which I'm probably one of them. How people can just label themselves something and not study, and they feel like they're on the same level with somebody that's probably gotten degrees or certificates or licenses and shit. Like a hairdresser versus a cosmetologist. You know what I mean? So it just, yeah, I was just like outdone. Like, especially with people's reaction. Like, are y'all serious? Do y'all even know who y'all talking about here?
Well, I mean, you said a whole handful, cuz
I did. Hey, it's been a while.
Yes. It's been a while. What I will say is this. I understand what Funny Marco was trying to do. Because Funny Marco is not that type of guy that wants the controversy of trying to be out here and fake like he's tough when he know he really is not. So I get that. I mean, I understand that.
But it ain't even about that.
You said what?
I said it ain't even about that. You ain't got to be tough to command respect.
I'm about to say,
It'd be tough to your interview together. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get that. Let me finish.
Okay.
With Funny Marco being the person that he is. Also, Funny Marco being the person that he is, trying to, I guess, quote unquote, break himself into the industry. I understand how he can be conflicted at that moment. So I'm not. I can't downplay him. One, I can't downplay him because he's from the city. So and I'm always big up the city forever. Um, Second play is I just know what it is. I've seen a lot of dudes like him growing up. Eventually they know how to put their head down like an ostrich. But until then, like they kind of just like um try to play the role because they don't want to be in the level of someone thinking they gonna retaliate or someone gonna think they gonna act tough because these niggas ain't tough. At the same time, I say every most niggas I know from the town ain't gonna go for that. I'm not gonna go for that. Most niggas in the world, even comedians or just hosts for that matter, excuse me, they're not gonna go for that. And I ain't saying that like they gonna get physical or gonna act an ass or start a problem. They're gonna be able to control the situation. I don't think Funny Marco actually knew in that situation that you could still like hold your ground and be funny at the same time. I think he was more like realizing like how this shit was becoming chaotic and becoming a problem. He didn't it's overwhelming sometimes for somebody to like take the lead and like go for it. Me personally, it would have never happened. Like the moment I'd have seen shit switch up, I would have switched up as well.
Mm-hmm.
No downplay on Funny Marco. Again, I keep saying that, and I always say there's no downplay on it. But when you seen Southside switch up, you should have switched up too. My thing is, I would have been on Southside's ass because Southside sounded like he was jeffing, and I'm not saying Southside was jeffing on any given Sunday because I don't know this man, so I ain't gonna say that's his his mo. But what I will say as a nigga from the town, if I'd have seen you switch up like you did and start riding this nigga's coattails, I would have said you was jeffing, you was sucking dick. Like I would have put it right. Y'all call me a bitch ass nigga way more than know what I'm saying that I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
So one
yeah,
of
it is definitely debatable that they went too far because the name calling, him throwing the cup and all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's debatable that they went too far on that, But they knew they can get that shit off because of the energy that you were portraying. You know what I mean?
and
So
that's the thing. It's like because he's not that type of character. Like I don't know Funny Marco personally or nothing. I don't think because we from the same city, everybody know each other. That's a complete lie. I don't know this nigga
I don't
from
know.
a can. I don't know him from a can of paint. What I do know is it is people that I know that knows him, and he's not that type of individual. Like, and that's I'm not down. Like at the same time, I'm not downplaying him. I'm not saying he a bitch ass nigga. I ain't saying he's soft. None of that shit. I'm just saying everybody that said that they know him that I know. They say like that's not Funny Marco is not he's not a confrontational type of guy. That's not him.
And you can very well not be that type of guy. I'm not saying that you had to be that type of guy, but there's a way that you could have handled that interview without it coming to blows. Like the end result shouldn't have never been what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether you're a confrontational person or not, you could have let it be known that this is not how this is gonna go down. Or with you being a comedian, you could flip that shit. It could have been a laughable moment. You could have turned them into some straight clowns.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like the more and more you look at it, the more and more you like it could have been avoided. Like when I look at it, I'm like, for instance, I would never. They would have never walked out of there alive. I would have skinned them niggas alive. Like I wouldn't have been on no extra. Like not no tough guy shit. But like definitely, if I seen where they was trying to be, I would have been on them heavy. Like, cause it's easy to
Oh
be on a rich nigga heavy. It's easy to be on a rich nigga heavy because rich niggas nowadays, most of these niggas be insecure as fuck. And
yeah.
I ain't saying Southside or G Harbo is insecure or none of that. I'm just saying when you in a situation like that, like, oh nah, you start downplaying on what, you know what I'm saying? You start playing them like they playing you. Nigga, they telling you to your face, they called you bitch ass niggas. They telling you they giving you more respect than you are due. You supposed to be on their head.
Mm-hmm. Right. That could have been a situation that would have went down in history for a totally different reason. Like you could have been solidified with your where you with your bearings and where you are as a comic. You know, from you. You know what I mean? And the fact that did not happen is like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? How can anybody take you seriously after that? Because all they gotta do is just come in there and sun you right quick and you shut the fuck up. Like that's crazy to me. And then on top of it, it's a doggy dog world. You put out that energy is gonna come to you eventually. And it came back to you in Southside G Herbo. Really more so in G Herbo because like you said, Southside switched up once G Herbo got on the scene. You know what I'm
He
saying?
switched up. Like he was fine. Like Southside would have been cool with the whole fucking interview and just would
Yeah.
have went with it. Like he would have just went with the flow. He totally it reminded me of when like you like the niggas you knew to play sports, like the niggas you knew to play basketball. It was a nigga that was off the bench. They used to always talk shit, but he was cool with everybody until the star player came through. And then whatever the star player said, he was just riding with it. That
Right.
was the shit I seen. And I don't care what if y'all are Southside fans or G Harbo fans or whatever. This is what I see. I ain't downplaying any of them niggas and saying they less than. But what I'm saying is that's the shit I seen.
Yeah. That was the shit that I seen as well. But that's the situation. You know, I'm not advocating for anybody to hate him or anything like that. I just thought it was a fucked up situation, but not for the same reasons that everybody else thought. So yeah. But yeah, so that's Funny Marco.
Shout out to Funny Marco.
Shout out to him. Yeah, so next up is Cynthia G. So you can go on ahead and tell us about Miss Cynthia G.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Quick, we've been we've been riding for a while, so let me make this quick about Cynthia G. Cynthia G is one of those individuals that downplays black men for quote unquote being betas. I'm not gonna say she's right, and I'm not gonna say she's wrong. But what I will say is, she talks about beta black males, but she downplays every black male. This has been her MO. This is how she runs through. She even had some coarse words about Kevin Samuels, and it's crazy that she had coarse words for Kevin Samuels because she actually does the same thing, but to little effect. Like no effect that that Kevin was causing, she was ever able to move. But that's nor here nor there. I digress. What I'm saying is, this woman has been a black man hater for a while, and now we find out that she has been totally kicked off of not totally kicked off. She had a page, her page kicked off of Facebook because of hate speech. I still want to put in your ear that I'm telling you, this is a woman that lives off of downplaying black men, and she got demonetized and xed off of her page for that shit. It doesn't matter when it came out. I don't care if it came out in 2001. I don't care if it came out in 2010. All I'm saying is in 2023, whatever they pulled up in our archives made them say she's got to go. Not only are we pulling this off, she has got to be demonetized. Like that is it's wrong for you to do a black woman like that, but at the same time, I get it because this black woman was actually causing more harm than she was doing good.
Yeah. Like we said before we went live, if they took Fresh and Fit off for what they were doing, then it's only fair to take Cynthia G out for what she was doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan or anything, but from what I saw of hers, it really was like she was just Halo. Like some people have done her wrong to the point where she said F everybody, so. And now she's on in the manosphere and the red pill movement. They're all rejoicing.
But this is the whole thing. It's like you don't prescribe to your own medication. This is the thing that fucks everybody up. That's why it's so hard for us to have black leaders nowadays. Because nine times out of 10, most of our black leaders don't even subscribe to the things that they're telling you to do.
That's true.
Cynthia G was an individual that told you stop fucking with betas, stop fucking with simps, stop fucking with men that don't know what they want in life. All that time she was telling you that, you know what she was doing? Raw dogging a nigga that didn't know what he was going to do with himself in life. So she's shooting y'all down like y'all did the total wrong thing in the world when she was actually doing the same fucking thing.
Well, she was speaking firsthand, I guess. She was speaking from firsthand.
But that's the thing. But that doesn't make it right. It's like that's like when your mom, well, not your mom, but like or my mom or anything of that nature. But that's like when moms tell you daddy ain't shit because daddy on crack, but at the same time, mama is in there shooting lines and playing dominoes.
Hey, that's because she's classy based and she's not gonna smoke crack. She makes too much money to ever smoke it. Crack is whack.
You got excuses like all of the other people in the world who are bullshit. It's still bullshit. It's still, you can't call the kettle black if you're the pot.
I guess not.
Yeah, you can't. It just is what it is, y'all. Everybody is in the same. Of course, this is the problem that I'm having with certain things, especially when it comes to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody is quick to have this type of ideal about, you know what I'm saying, about people, and then when shit like this hits the fan, then everybody makes an excuse up. No, stick to your fucking guns. It's no excuse about this. You can't make excuse. It's the same shit.
Yeah. And not only is she like demonetized, but she also has a GoFundMe right now. So yeah, sounds like this was her bread and butter.
This I'm sorry to cut you off. This is the same lady that said Kevin Samuels deserves to be worm food. She said that. Now she's got to turn around and ask motherfuckers that didn't make the money that she made off YouTube or any social media she was on. Let's not get this twisted. She was living high off the hog, and now she's got to ask people. Some of these people who actually listen to Kevin Samuels for money.
Yep, she do. She do. And it's a fall from grace. It's a fall from grace. Same way the whole Fresh and Fit situation was transpiring, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
it's basically the same thing, you know.
It's just one of those things that people like Cynthia G, and I don't want to downplay her disrespect her, but I'm just gonna call it how I see it. People like Cynthia G, who says one thing and does another, reminds us of why we're so backwards in the first fucking place. Because 9 times out of 10, most of us live that same. We've seen that growing up with our moms, our uncles, our aunties, all that. They would say one thing and then they would do the next, and therefore it made you act a certain way. Like none of that shit makes sense, and none of that shit makes us good as human beings. This bitch literally fucked the bum while telling y'all not to fuck with bums. That's exactly what was going on.
The nerve and audacity. The nerve and audacity. But hey, it won't be the first time. Like, people do that all the time. So it won't be the first time. So moving on from Cynthia G, hopefully she'll get her shit together. But moving on from her, so we have a couple of things that have went viral, that have sparked a whole lot of debate. So there was this lady who refused to get out of a car while she was going on her first date with a man that took her to the Cheesecake Factory. And she felt like she was better than the Cheesecake Factory. So not only did the guy get back in the car and leave the Cheesecake Factory, but he took her home. He was just like, yeah, this ain't gonna work out. So this has sparked a debate on if that should be an appropriate first date, Cheesecake Factory. I personally don't see nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, but nonetheless, it sparked a debate. So much so that the news, like regular news, was talking about this. It was so crazy. But she ended up doing an interview with the guy and all that. But anywho, because of this being such a debate or whatnot, this person, with the help of a lot of other ladies, came up with a list of places to not take a young lady on a first date. And these are the places. Excuse me. Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family function, movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. Somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar for just drinks, Waffle House, and sports events. Do you have any thoughts about this list?
My thoughts on this list is this is everywhere the fuck you supposed to take anybody from a first date to a fucking 50th date if that's what the fuck you want to fucking do. Like, who are you to decide? Sorry, I don't want to downplay any woman who thinks they have quote unquote standards, but who the fuck are you to decide what a man does if he wants to get to know you, unless he's putting you in a situation that is dangerous? Like, this nigga's taking you to Applebee's. He's not taking you to a trap house. Like, what the when are these things the wrong things to do? Because my thing is, what I don't understand is women that agree to this are saying that a man has to take them somewhere that they literally can't afford themselves. It should never be a situation where unless I put that jacket on me because we've been dating for or we are actually in a relationship, it should be no reason why I'm taking you somewhere you can't take yourself.
I don't think it's just that. Like, according to some of these things on the list, I don't think it's like on the tip of being bougie or anything like that. A family function? No. You're not taking me on no first date to nobody's family function. You're not taking me to church. You're not. And you're nobody's first date. I don't give a damn how bougie or not bougie you are. On nobody's first date should somebody be taking you somewhere that requires a long drive. That's less than smart. You don't know this person enough for them to be taking you on a long drive.
See, this is the thing, though. This is the thing, and I get, because I understand where you're coming from. Where you're coming from is a place where that's uncomfortable for you. So it is different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Some people are cool with that. Some people are cool with you on the first date going to your family reunion with her. Some people are cool with this. I got country family, so I can't. I'm never gonna say I ain't never seen.
But a first date though, a first date.
But see, you feel a certain way about that. Another woman will look like, oh shit, he is already making me part of the family, and they'll stick there longer. It's just like I said, different strokes for different folks. You can't say what is good for what's the old saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't say that about everything.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. The gym.
But
I don't think
that's just your opinion. It shouldn't be a list of that. It shouldn't be a list. It should be strictly on what you approve as a woman. Like, it shouldn't be a list.
But some of these should be a no-brainer. Like a nightclub as a first date. Like, how do you get to know somebody taking them to a nightclub?
for you. But I can't say what we. But what I will say is, it has happened. It is motherfuckers have met in a nightclub. Things should
Mhm.
we shouldn't try to I guess what's the word I'm looking for? We shouldn't try to like put things in a box like this is what's gonna make shit or this is what you should be looking for. This is what because I mean you never know where you're gonna find yourself somewhere where you're comfortable or you never know where you find yourself on a first date with somebody that is to everybody else out of the norm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
like
mean, like, yeah, just, I mean,
and my thing, and
some of these things
it just
should,
shouldn't be a list. It shouldn't be a list. Fuck that.
I don't, I don't mind the list. It's just where are you coming from when you say some of these things? Because like any fast food chain, like a fast food chain, no, that's not a first date. That's like, okay, I'm about to go somewhere. Do you want something? You know, like that's what you do with like a fast food chain. You don't say like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you on a date and take you to KFC." Like that's yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
like,
say that. You say that, but then I'm gonna put you in this category because people
mhm.
fail to realize like this category. The nigga that works at a fast food restaurant with a bitch that work at a fast food restaurant, and they got fast food restaurant money. They're
Okay.
just gonna go to another fast food fucking restaurant.
But in the same breath, if they both work fast food jobs, why would they want to date at their job?
Who cares? It happens. Everybody knows somebody to fuck with each other
Y'all can
from their
figure
job.
something else. Y'all can figure something else out. Okay, so there was a list that a group of men made to counter. And this is the list of women, of the kind of women you should never take on a date. Now, listen to this one: single mothers, women with tattoos, women who dress like this in public, sex workers, OnlyFans girls, actresses, strippers, call girls, escorts, Instagram models, bottle girls, etc. Women with an IG page, women with non-ear piercings, women with purple hair or any other unnatural color, women with hoe friends, models who market to men, women who travel regularly, women who drink liquor regularly, women with weak/absentee fathers, women who live alone, women with party voice, women on dating apps, women who have been on Fresh and Fit, women with lists, women who have been engaged, divorcees, American Black women, women raised in the West. So when I saw this list, I said
So we just gotta fuck with trannies now. What
that
type of
I was just like,
fucking
if you
shit is
just want to
this?
date men, yeah. So my answer was, if you just want to date men, just say that. That was my answer to that. So your boy Seven says, a person putting more emphasis on the restaurant than the time has their priorities fucked and probably shows why they're single. Ooh, shots fired.
I mean, it's the truth. The thing about it is, for me, I can't say anything else. This is just me, in my opinion. If you like an individual, it doesn't matter what social economic plane y'all on. If you like an individual, wherever you're at with this individual, you're going to have a good time. So it shouldn't be a
That's
speculation
agreed.
where
That's agreed.
you
But
go.
let's look at it like this. Okay, so if you say, boom, I'm gonna take you out, and the person agrees, y'all don't realize the prep that person has to go through to get themselves together to
Nah,
go
nah,
on a
nah, nah,
date.
nah, nah, nah. Nope.
No,
I'm gonna
listen
stop you
to
right
me.
now, Lizzie,
Listen
because you
to me.
said this shit before. You said this shit
'Cause it's
before, Lizzie.
true. It's true.
I
It's true.
understand. I get that. But listen, that ain't what the fuck I asked you to do. I asked you to go out. I didn't ask you to spend $300 on yourself to go out. I asked you
So you
to
want us just
go
to
the
show up
fuck
like any
out.
old? You just want us to show up like any old thing?
I
Like
wanted you to show. I wanted you to show up like I seen you because I like you. I didn't ask you to spend $200 to do this, $300 to do that, $100 to do this. I didn't ask you to do none of that shit. You chose to do that. So guess what? All of that money is going to the Waffle House tonight, bitch, and we're going to talk about what what your accomplishments is and what you look for in the future.
oh jeez. All right.
Like people,
I don't agree. I don't agree. Like
with,
if you gonna tell somebody, because a Waffle House is not a date. That's a meetup. That's a meetup.
that is a fucking place to eat. When
Yeah,
you
it's a
want to
meetup.
date somebody, you are
I don't
going
have
to a
no
place
problem. I don't have no
that y'all
problem with
can
a
eat.
meetup. I don't have no problem with a meetup. But if you're telling me I am going to take you on a date, I expect to be taken on a date. You don't take nobody to no Waffle House for a date.
When a man takes you, when a man says, I want to take you out on a date, you automatically assume it turns into the prom?
No, no, that's not what I'm
Then
saying at
why the
all.
fuck? Because
But
that's
what?
what you're doing.
No, no, no,
This is
no,
what I'm saying. This is what
no.
you're
A
doing.
prom, no, a prom prep is something totally different than a
But that's
date prep.
this is what you're saying. This me.
No,
This is
that's
my
not what I'm saying.
opinion. Yeah, that's what you're saying. If you're saying that shit, if I
No,
ask you to go somewhere, I can't take. I have a specific place to take you. That's
no,
what they.
I'm not saying that there's a
That's what
specific
happens at
place.
proms. That's what happens at all TC balls. That's what happens at homecoming events. This is not
I'm
a
saying that
date.
there's levels. I'm saying that there's levels. A Waffle House is not a date, that's a meetup. I don't have no problem with a meetup. If you saying, hey, let's meet up and go to Waffle House, okay, cool. I'm gonna show up like we going to fucking Waffle House. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna show up like I'm going on a date. I'm gonna show up like I'm going on a meetup. There's levels to that shit. That's my point. I don't have a problem with the Cheesecake Factory. I like Cheesecake Factory. I've eaten Applebee's too many times to have to be okay with Applebee's, but that's my personal thing. I don't have a problem with Chili's or anything like that, like anything on the same level as Applebee's. Like Olive Garden, none of that shit. But like, let me know what it is though. Let me know beforehand.
Okay, so let me ask you a question because it's the thing because women are gonna have this opinion and they're gonna have this list and they're gonna assume things. Why can't women just simply ask where are we going?
That's not a problem either. But the thing is that when some people do, like some people like to be surprised, I'm not that person. I'll ask where we going if it's not told to me up front, or where you thinking about taking me, or something like that. Because sometimes it just be like whatever you think of at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I want to take you out to eat. Okay, cool. Where you thinking about going or whatever? I know maybe someplace like Texas Roadhouse or something like that. Okay, fine. I'm a I'm gonna get myself prepared to go to a place like Texas Roadhouse. So it may not be Texas Roadhouse specifically. It may be fucking what's that called? The Jack Stack or something like that. But that's like, give me like a ballpark of where we going. I can prepare for that type of environment. If you say, hey, you want to go to Starbucks, okay, I don't have a problem with going to Starbucks with you, but that's not a date. I'll go to Starbucks any day of the week. I fucking love Starbucks. So I'll meet you at Starbucks, absolutely. But I'm not gonna prepare myself like I'm going to a Texas Roadhouse the same way that I would prepare myself like I'm going to Starbucks. That's my thing. That's me personally. Now, some people out here, yes, they are bougie enough to be like, you ain't gonna take me to no motherfucking coffee shop or nothing like that, or you ain't gonna take me to Texas Roadhouse. That's not me. But some people are like that. And if you ain't feeling that type of vibe, then you ain't feeling that type of vibe. And it's great you know now before you actually spend $1 on them. You see what I'm saying? So it's great to have these conversations prior to the first date if it's really that big of a deal. But then some people just be like, yeah, but then some people just be like, oh, I just want to surprise you. Okay, well, you should at least, especially when you're talking about taking a woman on a date, you should at least let them know what to prepare for because they need to dress accordingly. You know what I mean? So like you might be trying to take them to do something physical and they show up in fucking heels. Like you got to give somebody some type of something so they can prepare accordingly is my thing. Your boy Seven says women act like men are their entertainment. And for them they equate love with the amount of fun we bring. Then when shit gets real and we got a hard patch, those women burn out. He also says that chick ain't spend all that and she ain't get nothing new. Her shit was from Shein and Temu with knockoff Chanel's. that thick, that thick ass glue on them on her eyelashes should have been a clue. Well, if we're talking about that lady specifically, that whole situation was she was just doing too much because for one, he had reservations for a place and she caused him to miss the reservations. So he still wanted to take her out. So he took her to the Cheesecake Factory and then she caused a fit. But you know, with her causing a fit and he seeing her true colors come out in something as petty as that, I mean, it saved him some money and some time that he pursued in her, is my opinion. You know, so then Boy Seven also says, what about a picnic and a fucking caricature board? I don't have a problem with that either. That but my thing is that like you need to prepare somebody for that. Like if you're dating somebody that wears heels often and you're talking about a picnic, they may want to not wear heels that day. They may want to wear flats. They may want to wear something that's appropriate for being on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta prepare people, my whole thing. And then he also says, "Why we gotta eat?
All I'm saying
don't gotta eat it at all." There were other places on that list that wasn't food related. So
but only thing I'm saying is this: at one point, men and women have to stop trying to look for a standard between men and women, because. And not this and not to downplay it like that because everybody looks for certain things like the hygiene's supposed to be met with your hygiene, you know, things like that, you know, shit like that, like that's important. You know what I'm saying? That's important shit.
Right.
Other than that, man, like sometimes, man, we gotta stop. Like whatever you're comfortable with is what you are comfortable with. You can't let like social media or whatever is the trend or whatever is going on in the now. You should not let that affect you about fucking with somebody because that's just gonna end up just blocking your fucking blessings. Like I'm not telling you to deal with a dusty ass nigga or a dusty ass female. What I'm telling you is, just because you're used to something, so like say you're used to, you know, Capitol Grill, that doesn't mean that you can't like a fucking Chili's burger. You just have to get to know certain things. You have to, and then, you know, like I said, with Lindsay, like people should ask, like people should know what to expect. so they can get used to being around this type of person if they want to be around this type of person. It shouldn't be a standard. It should never be a standard because that is something that no one will ever be able to live up to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I'm just saying.
Because
I'm just saying maybe a conversation.
if you make a universal standard, what's gonna happen is every couple of years it's gonna grow and it's gonna grow and it's gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're gonna realize is the standard grows, but not the economic purpose of people. And so nobody is ever gonna be able to meet the standard.
Yeah. Right. You're gonna be searching for somebody to meet that standard. You're gonna be searching forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I can't argue with that at all. It's just some of that stuff. I was just like, I mean, that's kind of no brainers. But then that men list, I just think they were trying to be extremely petty going up against the women's list.
That's all. Like, it was a bunch of little dick ass niggas that just had a problem with what women had to say, because most men, I ain't even gonna lie, if you're a real man, most men look at it and a problem and a and a solution. You know, we're not making excuses. No real man make excuses. There's a problem and then there's a solution. Even if that solution is getting the fuck rid of me.
Yeah.
You know, we're never gonna be in that. The list that you got from those dudes were niggas that were full of excuses.
Yeah. And I'm damn near everything on the list. So I guess that's the reason why ain't nobody asking me on no damn date. I'm like, when has living alone been a bad thing? What? Like I was taken back by that one. I'm like, huh?
That's how I know it was flawed. When the motherfucker, when you read that list off and the motherfucker said women with kids, I said, oh, this is a whole bitch ass nigga. This nigga never even fucked a bitch that had a kid in high school. Like, you don't know what it is.
Right. So not only was single mothers on here, but women who live alone is on here. So what you want? You want somebody that don't have no kids, that live at their mama house? Like, that's ideal? Like, I don't, huh? Exactly. And they can't have whole friends. So yeah, that the roommate is out the window. So like, yeah, you want somebody to live at home with their mama. Okay.
And then here we go, building standards up for what y'all call quote unquote women, which you would never ever find, because that shit don't never ever exist, because nobody can compete to these standards after years and years and years. Right.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So your boy Seven says, why some women want to front though? They show up to spots with heels and then leave in flats or barefoot on the first date. Some can't stay true to their look, but gotta stay true to a standard that they don't even uphold. Now, the only time I've seen somebody come in heels and leave barefoot is in the club. And you shouldn't be dating. That shouldn't be a date anyway. Like, I can understand you meeting somebody in the club, but a date in the club is stupid.
Right. I mean, and even if you date in the club, it is what it is, and so you know what to expect. If you date a motherfucker and you bring them to Bob's, then you gotta expect everything that comes from that.
Bob's. Right. Now, if the date ends up at Bob's, that's something different.
That's a whole different caliber. That's a whole different conversation.
Right.
I'm talking about if you said meet me at Bob's and this bitch was like, bet this is where I go every Thursday.
Right. Just tell them to get my seat. Right. Just tell the bartender to make my drink. She know what it is. I'll be there in a minute. Like, yeah. Then we got other fish to fry in those situations. But to end up at Bob's, I don't have a problem with ending up at Bob's.
I mean, that's cool.
But
Your nightcap is gonna shit. Your nightcap full of heavy liquor, and then you're gonna get some chicken wings, nigga. You are set.
right. Because I'm sure you're hungry again, drinking all that liquor, them strong ass drinks and Bob's. But yeah, so also we have this other situation that came up was this lady. So so this lady made a video and it's gone viral now. And hold on, before we go there, your boy Seven says some are too up on the look of whatever they're doing instead of the actual activity. That's why so many marriages end so quickly. Yeah, no, like I can agree to a certain extent. But yeah, so this lady, she
That was a
went
juvenile
viral.
bar. Sorry,
Huh?
that was a juvenile bar.
What?
Like you really serving like juvenile serve niggas. Like, whoa, if we can get down to a certain extent.
Oh yeah, right, right. Yeah, that's classic 400 degrees type stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that was crazy.
yeah. So this lady, she went viral recently, like in the last 2 days, because she did a video about this experience that she had. So basically what the experience was that she moved to Atlanta and she didn't know nobody there, and she got on a dating app, and she linked with somebody that had been talking for a couple of weeks. They haven't met up yet. But with her moving to a new city or whatever, she's been buying furniture. She needed a couple of things assembled. She asked the guy if he could give her some leads on somebody that could do the assembly work. He offered to do the assembly work. And so she took him up on his offer. Now she was just like, this is her first time meeting him up, and it's not normally something that she do by inviting somebody on the first time, meeting them to come to her house. But since he's doing this work for her or whatever, and because of this being her first time meeting him, she didn't want she didn't know if it would be a positive meeting to where she would want to continue on talking to him. So she didn't want that pressure on her. So she brought up payment, and they agreed upon an amount. So the day comes, or the morning comes or whatever. So the guy comes over that morning and he puts the pieces of furniture together. So while he's there, they get to talking, they're vibing, everything's good. She ended up ordering breakfast. They eat breakfast. He ended up staying for like a couple of hours after he was done. So when it came to the point where he was gonna leave, they said that they really wanted to see each other again. It was all positive vibes, right? So when he was about to leave, he told her, well, I'll send you my Zelle information so you can send the payment. So she played it cool, but she started thinking like, this is kind of weird that you are still wanting payment. So she sent the payment, and then she ghosted him. And so, so her reasoning behind it was that if we're vibing or whatever, like I wouldn't expect to still pay you. So people have been putting their thoughts and opinions on this. What's your thoughts and opinions on this?
Where do I go? Let's say I don't fucking care.
Okay.
It's just be there, man. I don't fucking care, man. It's like at some point we gotta realize that some shit ain't for us. That ain't even for it's just not for me. It's just not for me to even be a part. I don't have no rebuttal. I don't. The more and more if I dwell on it, I have a rebuttal. But the more and more I'm just like, nah, you know, I don't fucking care, man.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did give their opinion on it online, and a lot of people was like, "You tripping? You told him you were gonna pay him, so he expected a payment. So what's the
Yeah,
problem?"
and it's because I wanted to get on that at first, but then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Because this is what I would do. You know,
Okay.
if she would have said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you a certain amount of money for you to do this," yeah, I would have did that because I was expecting that money. We'd have hit it off. We'd have did something. I wouldn't have just because of the person I am. I would have never came to her with it if she would have ever came to me with it like, "Hey, you know, oh yeah, and I know I owe you such and such. I'm gonna send it to you." I'd have said, "Don't worry about it," because I know I'm gonna fuck with you again. Now, with me saying that as a man, this is me being 100% about a person I want to fuck. Now, if I in the same scenario, if I come over and I put the shit together, me and you are talking, but I ain't feeling you at all like that. Yeah, I might ask you where my fucking money at. Might ask you where my fucking money at. But that's why I
Yeah.
said, you know what? At this point, I don't fucking care. I can't because I know people ain't gonna like my opinion because I'm like, I
No,
can't
your
side with
opinion.
him. I can't side with him and I can't side with her because I
Yeah.
know like it can happen either or.
Yeah. Like the second scenario, I did see people say that in the comments. The first scenario that you said is kind of along the lines of what I was thinking, because when she laid out the story, they did vibe and they did say that they wanted to actually date. They were going to make plans to actually go out on a date. They wanted to see each other again, and the feelings were mutual in that regard. So me personally, because I'm in the minority on this, especially reading them comments. I'm definitely in the minority. Um, yes, I would have gave him his money, but I would have side eyed him if he took it. Because I would have been thinking that he would have been like, "Nah, don't worry about it," or use that to get yourself a dress for our date or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
it ain't like they met on Angie's List. They met on Bumble. They met with the purpose of them dating. That's like they didn't meet, like I said, they didn't meet on Angie's List. They weren't, it wasn't for the purpose of him doing a service for her. You know what I'm saying? And then she's the one that brought up the payment, yes. But he was gonna do it without payment. At least
but
we are under the assumption that he was gonna do it without payment. She's the one that brought up
I
the
was about to
payment. So
say,
it wouldn't have hurt him. It wouldn't have hurt him if he didn't get paid for it. And on top of that, that was a way that they got to know each other and they got to vibe in person to see if they wanted to pursue this further. And if he wanted to pursue this further, I don't think it would have been a bad idea for him to be like, "No, don't worry about the money." You know what I mean? So the
but
fact that he
he
actually took
didn't.
it, yeah, he didn't. The fact that he actually took it, if it was me, I would have side eyed that because I just don't like being taking money from women. I don't care, but I still would have continued to date him. I That wouldn't have been a reason for me to ghost him. So, but
He
that's
didn't.
just
And
me.
listen, ladies or gentlemen who are going through this. if you're in a situation like that, get that man his money and just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Like the whole ordeal of her saying, like, you know, he didn't understand, and you know, because we've been talking, like he totally understood. He didn't give a fuck. Like, you think this man, you made a TikTok about this, not him.
Mhm. Yeah.
You made a
Yeah.
TikTok about it because you wanted to be relevant. You wanted someone to think that our men play silly ass games like this. And you was like, well, you know, everybody around me saying I'm wrong, like, you know,
Yeah.
proving I'm not wrong. Like, no, like, bitch, the whole thing in a nutshell is the nigga didn't want to date you again. Y'all were in agreement of you do this, you get this amount of money. That happened, he was still owed that money. If for me, this is just my opinion, lady. The only way that your story could have merit is if you sent him his money without asking, and then he never asked to give it back to you, or he never tried to give it back to you. Now that's when you be like, how are we going out on dates and won't when we supposed to hit it off that way? Because every time you hit it off with a female, it's always free or you end up paying for it.
Okay.
I mean, but that's just my opinion. I'm just like, nah, you're just you trying to make yourself seem valid. What end up the truth of the matter is, the nigga wanted the money because the nigga didn't want you.
You think that's why he wanted the money, even though they mutually agreed that they will start dating?
Listen,
Because I saw somebody else say that too.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. If saying a case scenario, if Jasmine was like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you $100 if you come help me build these 2 fucking shelves," and I'm like, "Bet, I build these 2 fucking shelves." This is before me and Jasmine get to know each other. We've never met each other or anything. We just doing that, and I met her and we was rocking, boom, 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 and I helped her build these shelves, and we got to talking and we did whatever. And then, you know, we set up some time to meet and greet and actually talk some more about shit. If she brought up that $100, I'd be like, girl, don't even worry about that $100. Now, in the same scenario, if I ain't rocking with what the fuck she talking about, I am going to be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna send you my information about sending that to me. Because this is a contract that we already had this contract.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure that contract is binding. I'm gonna get that. I did this. I got this money.
Yeah. And it could have very well have been a test to see if she would follow through with her word.
Yeah.
It could have been. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily like the fact that he had to bring it up to her because it sounds like she was probably gonna skip out on it. And then that would have been a red flag for him to get the fuck on, you know. But
not losing.
yeah, but like if it was me, I would have been like, oh, let me get you your money, you know, and I will be anticipating him to say, don't worry about it. And if he didn't, I can't fault him for not doing it, but I will side eye, like, for real, you know. But I'm not gonna fault him to the point where I ghost him. I'm still gonna talk to him because at the end of the day, yes, this was an agreed upon situation. You know, your boy 7 says, why should this money you offer be contingent on if we vibing or not? It shouldn't be contingent on if you're vibing or not. Because the contract was made. It was a verbal contract that was made.
Exactly.
So it shouldn't be contingent on if you're vibing or not. But I feel like if you're vibing, especially because again, they met with the intentions on dating. So why are you pressed about getting money from somebody that you're trying to pursue? It ain't even about being pressed. It's just why would you want to get money from somebody that you're trying to pursue? You know.
And that's the whole thing in a nutshell. It's like that's the more and more I watch that video that you show me, the more and more I realize like not because think about it. This was a free date for this nigga.
Yeah, it really
was a free
It really
date with a speculation. It was a free date with a speculation. Not only was it was just like how if you ever go somewhere and they say, hey, if you sit here for an hour, we give you $100.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear about this bullshit ass timeshare and you say, yeah, I'm gonna opt out of it. But that contract was as long as you sit there, you get $100. You're supposed to get the money. You're supposed to get the fucking money.
Right.
Regardless of what happens, even if I was to put in money for the timeshare, I'm still owed this $100
Right.
So that was the same for me. That's the same thing in a nutshell. It's like I'm still owed this money. Now, if I want to pursue something with you, then I'm not even gonna trip off of it. As soon as you offer it to me, I'm gonna be like, I'm cool with it. I ain't know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna take it if you offer it to me. Now, if you sell it to me, it's in my account. I don't have nothing to do about that. I know what I'm saying. I don't know what to do.
Right.
I'm not gonna sell it back. What I would do is the next date I would spend that on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because it's at the end of the day, you got to understand it was a free. Not only was it a free date, the nigga got lunch out the bitch. I don't think a lot of people was paying attention to the bitch. Was like, yeah, I paid for lunch.
Yeah. No, some people brought that up. Some people brought that up too, and they was like, "Shoot, that's on her." Did nobody?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Like, yeah, this was a free date for the motherfuckers. Got to stop acting like women. Women only do this. Like, yeah, this was a free. He didn't have shit going on, and not only did he got a chance to talk to a woman. Not if he was attracted to her or not. He spent the majority of his time talking to a woman, so he got game. And then he got a free fucking meal.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a date. And a first date, and it wasn't one of the things that you shouldn't do on the list. So there you go. So yeah, so that is so that is all the shit that we have seen about dating. Not that you're dating or shit, or I'm dating for that matter, but yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and bypass the fucked up song because we've been here long enough.
Yeah, we've been here. Hell
yeah. Right. So I don't have any final thoughts. So what's Jerry's final thoughts?
I'll wrap it up real short and sweet. Jerry's final thoughts is basically learn how to be humble without somebody humbling you. Everything we have talked about today, man, and somewhere down the line somebody's been humble. And that's because they put themselves in a situation where they allow the person to be to humble them. Don't allow nobody to humble you. You humble yourself. You get to a point where you realize that you have to make things happen and you have to do things for yourself, even if that is humbling yourself, belittling yourself to make you understand it. You put on your pants one leg at a time like everybody else do. I think if you start doing that, eventually you'll end up really understanding that at the end of the day, we're all just the same thing. At the end of the day, we're specks of matter that really doesn't matter in the world.
Respects of matter that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope that doesn't make nobody feel bad about themselves, but real shit. What the specks of matter that really doesn't matter in a world that always is gonna move without you.
In a world filled with matter, we are specks of matter that don't matter.
Yeah.
Hits blunt. Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you for Gary's final thoughts.
Oh
And
yeah.
this,
Oh, I gotta hit them with this. And always
mm-hmm.
respect yourself and others.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, this was episode 97 of the Ish We Talked, and we will see you guys on episode 98. Bye.
Exactly.